Bam bam. Mama. Hello. Good. What? Wait. Huh? Where am I? Wait. What? What happened? Hello? There we go. Whoops. I have no clue what just happened. Hello. We are back. We are back with not seeing a game. There we go. Yeah. Sorry. My hair wasn't the way I wanted it to be for stream, so I had to fix it real quickly. Oh, here we are once again. If heaven will be mine. Though I just realized earlier today, like a few minutes ago actually, technically we have already seen everything except for like obviously the stuff that is specific to Lunatera, but we've technically seen all the events between her and the others as well, because we've seen both of the others' point of views already. So I'm very interested in seeing how different Lunatera herself will be, because event-wise there won't be that many changes, I think. So we have one more ending to go. Well, technically there's something if you reach 50 on everyone. I don't know if we'll try, I guess. For now, I'm gonna get ready to trip over my tongue. Again. From the Division of Existential Safety, Conflict-Enabled Ship Self-Archetype Model, First Flight, July 16, 1969. Place of Manufacture, Sea of Crisis, Earth's Moon. Our hope for Throne of the Soul for the Memorial Foundation, International Space Program and all humanity. Until no one is forgotten and all are remembered. Registering pilot. Welcome, pilot First Class Lunatera. Error. Multiple maintenance issues and critical errors detected. Notice. Launch permissions are locked until address. List errors. Maintenance errors. There's a possible sensor failure. Several limb connections are not registering. No weapons are loaded. Critical errors. Mass alert 1. Healing failure on critical area near core. Possible bleed. Mass alert 2. Tidal core is resonating at levels harmful to the pilot. Ready manual firmware update. Running. Upgrades detected. Syncing. Accepted manual internal mechanism firmware update. Switched ammunition to conceptual mode. Custom sensors loaded. Dynamic limb optimization loaded. Weapon loader drivers loaded. Details. Mass alert 1. Eye bleed 2. Recording derived from the data burned 4-dimensionally into the wound, suffered by this unit almost 1 year ago. Wound self-generated by forced overloading tearing the core open during sustained conflict in the Mars Ares regression campaign. All critical systems have naturally healed, yet the wound continues to bleed into space. Fuel efficiency lowered, healing speed reduced. Wah! Wah! Why is it so loud? Excuse me. Hold up. The really loud song normally only happens a little later. Why is this one so loud? No. Please, my ears. It's still really fucking awful. Fuel efficiency lowered, healing speed reduced, and tidal reactor speed cannot be regulated, leading to possibility of overload and increased pilot strain. It is strongly recommended that you seek the assistance of a full maintenance team. A lack of understanding of the full effects of gravitational conflict on the human gestalt means that this computer cannot provide adequate instruction or therapeutic measures. Permanently disable Mass Alert 1! Very healthy, Lunatera. Very healthy decision. Really ignore? Yes. Provide reason. I can handle it. It isn't a pleasant sound. No, not at all. Automatic scan alerts show that this may not be a very good reason. Would you like to provide another? No. Mass Alert 1 disabled. Details. Mass Alert 2. Tidal reactor has an unauthorized modification that is causing an unsustainable chain reaction. Notice, the ship is not equipped to handle prolonged operation at this capacity. Notice, increasing short-term output may cause long-term failures. Notice, loss of gravitational stability may cause fracturing and instability in pilot. Permanently disable mass alert 2. This mass alert cannot be disabled by pilot authorization. Key code, alert disabled. For record-keeping purposes, please input the reason. I'm fine. Ship self-mare Chrysium is in spacefaring condition. You are cleared to launch. Disable launch OS and engage catapult. All controls given to pilot. There's a message for you. Cancel. Refuse. This message will be automatically played. Then you keep this as my gift to you, Lunatera, your favorite and loosest leash. Prove to me you've learned not to choke on it. Why is that sound not stopping? Incoming message. Sending orders updated. I swear to God, I'm gonna turn the in-game sound off at this point. If that's the background noise I get, it's horrible. If it's not urgent, it's too late. If it's not too late, it can wait. Let me enjoy the view of the rings. Heaven will be yours. Hell yeah, heaven will be mine. Also, hi, how are you? They're beautiful. Even though there's only so long you can watch them before even the sight of the 6 planets rings become as boring as a blue sky. Macrisium sensors render them in every detail, using every sense as perfectly as she always has. You really are getting old, aren't you?
Hello, how are you? I'm good. I'm good, how are you?
Both me and you. I should probably listen to Control and throw you out and get a new one, but that doesn't seem right. You're only supposed to get one buddy. Even if I haven't been very good to you, I could never throw you out. We're all we've got. The Macrisium is a test-type model. It was made as a proof of concept. It isn't the first vessel made to grant humans locomotion and life in space, but it is the first to allow for outward expression. In all kinds of ways. It can do so many things, and they gave it devices for everything because they hadn't estimated how powerful tidal engines would become, or what sorts of things humans would really want to do in space. It's the first machine meant for conflict, but it's also the last machine that was meant for other things too. A ceremonial tin soldier, made to impress. An impossible-to-use machine, mind-machine or biofeedback interfacing is necessary to give humans control over a second body, but the Macrisium is done completely manually. It makes Lunatera sort of a genius and sort of an idiot that she can't do things any other way. I'm having so much fun, it's hard to believe it's going to be over so soon. No, I love it when old things are over and new things begin. Open the channel. Let's hear those standing orders. It's January 1st, and we have seen those tags before. It's still January 1st, but a year later, and then it's January 25. Day 1. Okay, just come and get me. Combat communications packet. Oh, you think you're so cool, don't you? Well, watch your back, cause I'm coming for you. Think the #1 position is going to last? Not a chance. In fact, why don't we have a little duel about it if you're not too scared? Come meet me in the Shadow of Olympia Mons and I'll make sure that this time you're the one left splattered and helpless and pinned on the side of a mountain, and not me, like the last 9 times. Also, would it kill you to, like, stick around for a bit after, you smug jerk? Not that I'm planning on losing. This time I'm gonna beat you. If you lose to someone 9 times, maybe stop trying. Cold War Ace reports Lunatera. First generation pilot research their classification. I'm having hiccups. She was unremarkable. I did not remember her at first. We took any of those who wanted badly to live in space and did not fit on Earth. In retrospect, we were asking for a rather unique quality, and it's not just a coincidence that she was there. The pilots had to be young adults, pass a physical, and not care what space might do to the body. It is not so surprising that someone like her would emerge from that pool of people, but the woman you know today has been iterated on since she was an adolescent. Be assured, I saw nothing of promise in her when I first met her. I told her that myself, as I told all the students. I am uninterested in your potential. We are judged by the self we create. I find that encourages brats to not take their specialness so seriously. That was not Lunatera's problem. Piece by piece, she created someone very interesting to be. We gave those children permission, and Lunatera was simply unique in her execution. She was never encouraged. She was never punished. We will never find another prodigy like Lunatera by looking for tidally sensitive children, because they do not exist. We will not find them pre-made. They must create themselves. Was this not a dream of the Memorial Foundation space program? Okay. Justification for return. Earth is not the sphere of our home planet. It is not a physical body, which is called Terra, the home of life. It is not measured in mass or by its gravity, its position in the universe. Earth is us. We measure Earth by culture. We are the Earth. Humanity, the particles of its mass, and by our gravity its body is formed. By our diversity and multiplicity, Earth exists. The living miracle of humanity's shared power is insignificant unless we are joined. This international space program, with representatives all across Earth, represents our commitment to peace, that humanity will never seek again to destroy itself. That humanity is the right to eternal life, invincible bodies, and unrestricted movement in space, as humanity expands beyond this sphere, as extensions of the universal human rights of life, culture, and freedom. To protect the growth and sanctity of all culture, ensure a future for humanity, and the defeat of our enemy. On this day, we inaugurate the International Memorial Foundation Space Program. Oh, wow. Who the fuck are you? Director of Combat Operations, Memorial Foundation, Existential Safety. Not your mom! Not your mom! Pilot first class, don't send me messages. So you really have betrayed us, haven't you? I've never betrayed anyone in my entire life. Aha! Haha. But seriously, whose side are you on right now? Ah, it sounds so accusatory to put it like that, you know. I'm fine with you being on whoever side you choose, so I can destroy them and drive you back to me. That may end up being a lot of people. What, you don't think I'm up for it? Don't worry yourself about that packet. Excuse me. If you want me to defect back, you could always just ask. Oh, sweet girl, I'm not interested in you coming back so you can walk away again. How many times did Hollymead fall for that? It shouldn't count as tricking her if she knew it was coming every time. Oh, stop it. I hate it when you're modest. It's so beneath you. Give her at least the dignity of a subtle seduction. I would have. That's not what she wanted. She really ought to think about her reputation more. And what more is there to say about the trail of messes you leave? But my disappointment in you both is total. My adorable failures. What am I to do with you? I am uncomfortable. You should go easy on her. I live to spoil her. Make no mistake that everything she deserves will be visited on you. I wouldn't dream of not letting you have that. You have to know by now how aware I am of what you want and deserve. You're so good to me, Europa. I don't deserve it. When I double-cross you again, be sure to really let me have it. I hope you do, but I take no chances with loyalty. Honeymead merely hopes you will change. I think it's charming that even you believe that might have some effect on you, but I know much better than you, kitten. I feel uncomfortable even reading that. I won't let you return no matter how much you beg until you have no other choice. When you can't pivot or run or trick your way through, and you can't second guess or lie. That's the only way to change that nature of yours. Ew. Ew. Ugh. I am uncomfortable. Retrograde and retrograde. Gatorade and Gatorade. Chasing after a string of pearls, Lunaterra and Pluto find each other instead. It's been almost a year since they last saw each other, and Lunaterra has never seen Pluto like this. Are you ready to spin backwards? Well, technically we have seen this. Just the other way around. What's going on? You've been pestering me with orders, so what's the sudden hold-up? Central set to launch immediately. We have to get the Celestial Mechanics lab regardless of whether or not the prototype is already gone. There's valuable information there, but it's worthless as Krittle's Graces gets there first. Have some patience, Lunaterra. The Krittle's Graces carrier just launched a completely unknown ship self. This can't be right. A person can pilot a ship that big. The tidal resonance should tear the pilot apart. Is this impossible? I hope. I've never seen anything like it, and no, you can't find it, Lunaterra, so don't even think about it. Any better ideas? It must be headed for where the prototype launched, right? Where else? You guys have to know that it already escaped. Don't underestimate your opponent, Lunaterra. Scavenging the lab may be useful anyway. We should have gone there for information if nothing else. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, now that you mention it. I didn't... Why am I not moving, by the way? Oh, god fucking damn it. Again? Are you doing this to me again? Yeah, I didn't actually notice the outfit at all until you pointed it out. That's fun. Hold up. Just a second. It's Wednesday. Wednesday is Gov Day, apparently.
Just a sec.
I put the game sound a little higher again because it's not that weird sound anymore. Because the song that's playing right now is pretty nice, actually. Hello, I would like to move. Please. Will we ever get a stream without scuff? No. There's no streams without scuff. Because scuff is what we like. Apparently. Maybe.
Come on.
First Scheiße, please. This could be your first stream. Nah. I mean. Oh. Okay, I guess. No phone. No phone capture today. I mean, my first stream had its own problems, yeah. But not in this sense. First stream just had the problem that first stream starts at the problem that my entire the entire stream chat just died because Twitch for some reason went down. Like, the stream was live, but the chat wasn't working. Okay. This is fine. I hope. There we go. Yeah. Funny different tracking, which makes my mouth do funny things. Well, if my phone doesn't work, then we'll just have to do this.
Yay!
Even against an unknown and objectively stronger enemy, what makes you so sure, Lunaterra? No particular reason. Oh wow, why my mouth so big? Or a single particular reason. Still don't trust me? Thought I'd sold your former instructor, Lunaterra. I knew how much to trust you before you betrayed us to Kredel's graces. My opinion hasn't changed because we welcomed you back into the fold. My best pilot and worst student. You've never been predictable except in your consistency for trouble, but it's a reliable metric.
Hello, good evening! How are you?
We are here tonight with different tracking for some reason. Hehe. You're right, you know me, so if you're worried, don't have to let me have free reign like this. Chris playthrough sometime now. Ah, yeah. You should do that. There was a very fun jump scare in there. I think that was still the actual debut stream. I thought the game was very feel good, but it had one jump scare in it, and that one got me pretty bad. Since you were a kid from your earliest academic days, you've never been able to look in my eyes and lie. You only got away with anything by keeping your mouth shut. Very unlike Pluto, the hope of Kredel's graces. She could lie right to my face with a smile if she thought it was for the best. Pluto exceeded the wildest expectations of the pilot program, so much so that I was decommissioned in part because of her. If Celestial mechanics have successfully built a monster that can withstand her, this engagement will end in disaster. And that is much more terrifying than this machine you're so eager to fight. That concerns me far more than you betraying us or fighting a battle you can't possibly win. I don't think any of you really understood what you were doing. Pluto's unreal. She's far more overwhelming than any of you understood. If that ship is unworthy of Pluto, it's going to be torn apart under the pressure of her, not the other way around. Pluto's the only real human being. No wonder she feels so alien when she looks at us. You want me to let you take an impossibly dangerous mission because you think you can save our enemy? What can I say to that? Maybe she can teach you the lesson I can't. Like waking up on the water to the wet burn of your lungs' desperation for air. Like floating untethered in space, unable to move under your own power. Losing the security of gravity is like being naked in space. Gravity is necessary for human life in space. Gravity is necessary for unrestricted movement in space. Can't have one without the other. The force that binds your existence together, the force to shape foreign bodies' pure agency. Gravity is necessary not just to live in space, but to be human in space. But being human is a little harder for Pluto, so she has to work for it. The tidal forces of her spacefaring body, the Krun macula, are as strong as she believes and as weak as she feels. And Lunaterra needs to make sure all the calculations are in order. Everything in her ships operates manually. She's just been at it long enough that it feels like a second skin. The jolt of nostalgia interrupts Lunaterra's mental math. She forgets to carry the one. It interrupts Pluto's focus, and she has a moment where she's not invincible. Close enough to touch the surface of the moon lab, Lunaterra is seen and known by Pluto, and they are suddenly falling down the well of too late and nothing you can do. I knew it. Yeah! It's important to get a grip. Knowing that there's nothing you can do is something Pluto considers freeing and Lunaterra considers exciting. Feeling doomed is clear permission to do whatever. As soon as the mare cries emerges through the cloud cover, she fires solid light into the remains of the Celestial Mechanics lab and chases it through the wound. The lab was recently damaged by the illegal launch of a hijacked ship, but the damage is barely noticeable compared to the massive hole left by a much, much larger ship crashing through. Lunaterra acts fast under pressure. If there's no point in hiding, there's no point in stopping. It's true. Lunaterra is living on the whim of Krun macula, which can probably do whatever to her at any time. If she can't run away, she wants to make the first move. It's the sort of thing that makes a lot of sense if you think about it, and no sense at all if you think a little more. But that's Lunaterra, isn't it? She's betting you think too much, or not enough. Against Pluto, is that really such a good idea? She's someone who always thinks just enough. Which makes it easy for Lunaterra to slip through deep into the lab until it gets quiet, except for the sounds of the moon quaking and trembling. After almost a year, the dread and the thrill is way too much to slow down and start talking. That's what the air of flying into Pluto's gravity well is saying. Who will make the first move? When, you know, technically I don't have to read any of this except for when we choose the other option for the situation. Because technically we have seen all of this already. But on the other hand, I feel like that would be, a little awkward, so I don't want to. But reading it all again is also kind of awkward because we've already seen it. I hate it. I hate that. When Lunaterra punctures the last armor layer and opens up the terminal cavern, light spills out and screaming sound because the Krun macula is peeling the lab and most of the moon inside out with the forces of its own tides. It's not something that's impossible or anything, it's just something that's only possible in theory, which is still terrifying, more terrifying. And more terrifying than that power is Pluto's finesse, and more terrifying than the finesse is her gentleness, spooling matter-like threats in a tiny galaxy of which she is the sun. Could have used the skip scene text, right? But there isn't one, I think. There's only this data log for what we have seen, and there's the options, which I have not used since the first time we saved, I think. Wait. Yeah. The first time we saved and then never again. And the only thing that does happen is I can click either left or right on my mouse and both of them make the text advance, I guess. Wait. But we have seen all this already. It's just... we're just going to choose something else to side with the Memorial Foundation. Because we have not done that ending yet, but everything else we have. So let's go for Memorial Foundation, I guess. What's it gonna be, Lunati? Alright, you never want to make the first move. Then I can go. Pluto sweeps up the swirling, tumbling matter in the hollowed-out moon. Making the second move has always worked for Lunaterra. She's never been good at setting the pace, only outsmarting it, so it's the only move to make. Even still, maybe there aren't any winning moves. Lunaterra has to be ready for that possibility. The Chronomacula is a very impossible sort of machine, almost as impossible as Pluto. Chronomacula can grind space-time to a crawl with its tidal forces. Chronomacula can pull ambient matter into a wall with enough friction for the combustion to give birth to a star, emotionally and almost as much physically. A tiny sun is born, but Lunaterra has just gotten out of the way. Lunaterra isn't where Pluto is expecting, and then there's suddenly a hail of bullets in her skull. Pluto doesn't mind the onslaught, but it's still shocking, but not in an unpleasant way. It's actually very joyful. Really? Really? You're not just trying to scare me? For real? Not a joke? We're finally going to have a fight about it? Is this body so me that you finally aren't going to be weird about fighting it? Lunaterra thinks Pluto could use a lesson in how terrifying actual combat can be, but is there anyone terrifying enough to teach it to her? Are you trying to hide from me? I've been waiting for a real fight. I'm tired of you telling me you think I'm right. If you really thought that, you'd be here on my side. So prove I'm wrong already, or admit defeat. Bullets through her arm and chest are pretty much everywhere, but that is not a problem. Tear the bullets, even if they're light, redirect them with gravity, pull them into a cosmic whirl. They will never even reach her. They will be always approaching, never meeting. They will be an infinite whirl. And that whirl will become a star, washing the mere chrysium in heat and light and radiation. Ah, that's more like it. Not fast enough, Pluto. And then she runs Pluto through. It's not enough, but it hurts. It's serious. The brittle spear is of a cold and rational metal that repels cosmic concepts. Thank God. I was beginning to worry you didn't care about anything anymore. So here. The star supernovas. Chronomacula holds the star, and Chronomacula is the star. Lunaterra almost doesn't get out of it. Her engines overheat, the electromagnetic current shorts her sensors, and her chest is fried. But she can move more than Pluto can, at least for long enough to get away. But I'm still ahead of you. Now I know why everyone hates you so much. You're not fun to fight with at all. Are you kidding? Like you fight fair. Now that I know what you're really like, I'm not going to accept anything less. I don't want to do that again. Well, too bad. Whose fault is that? Yeah. I know. I like that every time they meet, they just have a weird fight, but then they go. Like, I know space is kind of infinite, but you guys still, I don't know, are just there, and then a day passes, and then you're suddenly not there anymore. First generation pilot candidate interviews. Why do you want to go to space? I want a new start. In what sense? To get rid of this weight. We are required to make it clear that the purpose of the program is not to leave Earth, but to expand it. The weight will follow you. But will it weigh differently? Please explain what you mean about what you said previously. About what? What do you mean when you say you don't want to be me? I don't know how else to say it, isn't it obvious? Who would want to be this? I don't understand what you see that is wrong with you. I do. Aha, you're saying that you, as you are, the person who you are, doesn't want to be you. Yes. Then you aren't that person. But the person weighs on me. So you would like to have the weight of being this other person that you are not. You would like that removed. Yes, please. That may be possible. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Pilot program progress. The Cold War is looking bleak. The threat from space is more flimsy, translucent and inscrutable when once it was so strong that all of humanity feared it. Existential threats on Earth are more pernicious than ever, and the scouts are not keeping up. It has become difficult to argue against the possibility that the scouting program has done more harm than good, and that goes just as much, if not more so, for the pilot program. Historically, death has always invited the enemy here in its greatest strength. Humans can resist killing each other long enough to protect themselves from the existential threat. It is easy to make this argument, but we have had little success with it. No matter how celebrated the slogan is, no matter how many governments and leaders profess to live by it, the simple fact remains. The existential threat can never be as powerful as we are. Humans will always pose a greater threat to other humans than the existential threats will. It will always be easier for humanity to eliminate a threat by killing their own than by fighting a threat directly. While we have offered children and the unwanted wanted to fight the existential threat with existential intent, humanity has turned its gaze inward rather than to the heavens. Not even strong enough to pierce the atmosphere without burning, the existential threat can no longer be labeled as such. For these reasons, we accept the decision to decommission the Memorial Foundation space program. Okay. Excited to be out in the field again, doing important work. We're a long way from anything important out here, I can't help but notice. You think Command wants you as far away from them as they can get you? What makes you think that? That you said it that Command is my ex and that I did once double-cross Memorial Foundation. In that case, you should be happy you're in the field at all and not in a brig or in the process of being shipped back to Earth. Well, I am. I'm so thankful I don't need to be lied to about my work being important. Oh, I would never lie about a thing like that. In fact, the most lovely sixth planet of our solar system, Cronus, has become extremely busy in the past 24 hours. A major league of celestial mechanics has revealed they're finishing a prototype here, and Kreddle's Graces knows about it too. Apparently, the Hellion responsible for the leak has stolen it too. You're just a moment for the job. Reigning in incorrigible pilots is your specialty. Let's see if the power can be used for good for once. Europa, please leave some of me left to fight the enemy. Don't shoot me down before the mission starts. Was I too mean? I would prefer direct combat any day. Well, let me tell you something nice then. That Kreddle's Grace's super weapon, your favorite, has been spotted in the system. My favorite? What do you mean? Don't play dumb. You make that same face whenever Chronmacula is spotted. It's the biggest mystery of their side and one of the only reasons Kreddle's Graces hasn't collapsed by now. The Chronmacula's power is unreal. It's far stronger in reality than anything that could possibly have been projected from its original schematics. Its capabilities seem endless and impossible to predict or counter. And no one knows who the pilot is. The list of people who could pilot something like that is very short, however. Maybe it's someone you know. Worried I might double-cross you again? I'm not with Kreddle's Graces anymore for a reason. Oh, I just never trust you when girls are involved. Joyride Killjoy. Weaving in and out of 6 planet rings, Memorial Foundation's ace Lunaterra plays cat and mouse with the renegade ship thief Saturn. We have also seen that. Objective in sight, opening channel to base. Captain on board. Captain, this sucks. Well, you heard them, Europa. Tell those idiots to be careful what they wish for because the mission parameters have changed. As you know, Celestial Mechanics have been operating a clandestine ship self-development lab with an experimental prototype, in violation of the terms of the Memorial Foundation Space Program Decommission 3. And we are on a top-secret surprise attack to take out the last operational shipyard and make sure we never have to find out what Celestial Mechanics has been planning to do with it. Couldn't be more obvious what happened, but go ahead and brief me anyway. No points for guessing. The prototype already launched, rendering most of the base inoperable. We lost contact almost instantly, finding before it leaves Cronus' gravitational field. Oh great, what a pain. Weren't you just bored? There's no way to find it. It's as good as gone. There's a chance that the ship self is still nearby, so get to work. Ugh. Yeah, this is... Bravo, we wait now. Now. I've got nothing, Cap. Bubblegum pink electricity sparks over the ice and dust off the inner ring like a lightning bolt and through his ship self. He doesn't get even the slightest chance. Mayday. Don't listen, you don't have any right to complain, right, Europa? What a callous attitude you have. Who did you learn that from? The best. Preparing to engage. I wish Europa would sending me boys who can't control themselves. Ah! Now we know why she said that when we saw her. Having fun dismantling my escorts. Yeah. This is for... Yeah! I see. Now we know that. Okay. This is the first time those two meet. No mercy for newbies. No! Click, 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 click. Okay. We want to be loyal. How was that? Did it hurt? It's just weird. It's weird that it doesn't hurt. It's easier for Lunaterra to cut through the malleable flesh of the string of pearls directly than untangle her from the wrapper. The flesh reforms quickly, so she has to work patiently. String of pearls might be impossible to destroy. Even if Saturn can't land a hit, Lunaterra feels like somehow she's the one who got lucky. If just this hurt, you'd never be able to fight. Your brain is giving you more nuanced information. You're very sensitive. Lucky, you get used to it. If you are serious about next time, think of yourself as something a little bigger. I like that. Being big. I'm glad I trusted you. Stop shaking them, or ask me to go easier. Just a little easier? Of course. Do you remember me yet? I thought you'd remember the name of at least some of the girls you've made out with in supply closets. Your face! Just kidding, but sorry, it was worth it. You weren't kidding about still being dangerous. Every pilot knows you, by both of your reputations. You're definitely Saturn, because no one hated me as much as you. So now I'm curious why you don't anymore. If I tell you, you owe me extra, so save it for the next time you catch me. Well, I just have to catch you again quick. Or free. Now get out before someone catches us. Oh, well that was over quick. Receiving report. Alert, report not accepted. 2 errors detected. Error 1. A failure to explain why Celestial Mechanics ship's string of pearls was not successfully apprehended. Error 2. A failure to explain why Credit Grace's ship's Crin Macula was not successfully incapacitated. Please correct errors before proceeding. Resubmit. Warning, no corrections submitted. Force resubmit. Generating new assignments. Penalty assignment. Sniper duty planet Ares currently held by Credit Grace's. Purpose, preventing Celestial Mechanics refueling and egress. Penalty assignment. Sniper duty. Credit Grace's held planet Ares. Purpose, top secret. Take out Credit Grace's prototype Crin Macula on research assignment in Credit Grace's territory. Penalty assignments cannot be refused. Indicate you have understood new orders. Yes. Ready for gravitational catapult? Prepare launch to inner solar system. Yeah, we are definitely sniping them all. Halimede 1. Why me? Well, because you're special. A special kind of child. All children are special. That's true, they are. I'm not more special than those children. We think you might be. Special how? You're the top of your class already at such a young age. We think that you might be able to do things that other children can't. My sister's better than me at all of those things, and my aunt Europa when she was my age. We think you might be special in a different sort of way. Can you look at the box in front of you? Okay. Pass your hand over the box. Okay. Nothing happened. We're using an instrument to measure something that's very, very small, but moving it even so little that you cannot see it would be very important. How do I do that? You should not think about it, just do it. I can't. I know you can. I can't. Your aunt and your sister could easily do as much, so you can do as much too. Oh, it moved? Did you get that? Yes, I saw it move. Literally saw it. Contact the director immediately. But who's Halimede? We have not seen Halimede. We've heard the name, yes, but we have not seen that character. Unified culture theory. Unified culture theory is a brute forcing of defined solutions for the universe through the forcible elimination of all other possibilities. The theory is attractive to those who desire a beautiful, simple, endlessly complex solution for the universe. In order to develop this theory, there needs to be a solution for the Nix eversion paradox, which demands that anything not human exists in the everse. The most compelling current premise for the unified culture theory under contemporary physical models involves a full integration of all available concepts, directed and established in such ways as to maximize benefit for humanity. The theory of everything speaks to the desire to know, understand, and master the universe while also incorporating a premise of universal love, happiness for everybody, free, and let no one be left behind. Unlike tyrants of old that crushed alternate futures under their heels and only caused the existential enemy to blossom, such a unified theory would welcome and forgive all humanity and direct to benefit all things that are and that might yet be. Okay, lots of big words. Enjoying your missions? More thrilling work than fighting the half-hearted troops left on Eris? Much, much more. I forgot what it was like to work this hard. I'm rusty. Are you unhappy with your progress? I don't know. Are you unhappy? I don't know. It's always been very hard to tell with you, though I'm not sure if I can answer that question better than you. I've known you since you were freshly assigned to the first pilot wave. You were so delicate, and you've only become more delicate even as you've become stronger. I didn't think you described me back then as delicate. I saw it very clearly, though the other executives thought you were a scrappy pain in the butt. You were just scared. There's no point in pretending otherwise, you just see through it. I guess I haven't changed as much as I thought. Long ago, I saw a strong and delicate girl. I've worked hard to make you more and more of that. Rather than simply cultivating your strengths, understanding your weaknesses is needed to grow. Let me ask you again, and this time focus. Count backwards from 20. Remember a moment of comfort. I'll wait. Are you happy or unhappy? I don't know. Because I feel like I'm on a cusp of something. It's frightening, yet it could be something amazing. That's a real feeling. Good girl. Are you blushing? Anyone would. I feel even more embarrassed than I did back then. Ah, that's an even better feeling to have. Hold on to that one. I'm still uncomfortable. Left in the earth after a maiden voyage, Cradle's Graces is testing the finishing touches on a terrifying Chromacular prototype. It's a chance for Lunatera to defeat their trump card, while would she close the rift between them instead, or only widen it deeper? Lunatera cancelled or launched their new orders. Really? I thought they were very insistent about this mission, and it's a good idea, so I thought I'd do it. The new orders are Cradle's Grace's super weapon has contacted the base already. Send anyone except for Lunatera there immediately. Ah, I see. Well, prep the mare crising for launch. Lunatera, even I have to say something if you disobey an order right in front of my face? But you don't disagree? Or you just stop me instead of saying something? A certain degree of questioning orders from the top is allowed. Given who's in charge, obviously. Halimede is just a foolish princess. If Cradle's Graces is using that new weapon, that's all the more reason not to send randos who wouldn't stand a chance against it. You fundamentally misunderstand the Memorial Foundation, Lunatera. Halimede leads the recovery effort because no one else is fit. Only that naive, conceited, foolish girl has the love required to bring humanity back to Earth. Naive, one-sided, and unself-aware love. Oh, Halimede is the princess girl on Earth thing. I see. Nevertheless, that is exactly the love that is required. It's for us to interpret that fundamental impulse in a way that will ensure strategic advantage. So I will ask you, does love motivate your actions? Or are you just that eager to find someone to shatter you into orbit? Your connection with the pilot, and don't think I don't know about it, or who she is. Which is it? Guilt or love? Will you let me go if I say I need to see her to know? I would advise against it. Her love might be stronger than ours. That's possible. All the more reason you shouldn't get near it. Well, let me take the risk. Make up and forget? Fight until we forgive each other. No, make up and forget. The balance shifts because Lunatera didn't hesitate, and neither did Pluto. Fourth planet from the sun, Eris, romantic red planet. It was the first planet the space colonization program wanted to make ours, and they wanted it to be so beautiful. Did they get their wish? It was a beautiful dream, but still a dream. By the time Earth had demanded the space program pull back, they were stuck. Still halfway there after so many years. Yet, getting halfway there got them something beautiful, even if it wasn't enough. Where life grows, and it doesn't grow most places, it's in a spring yellow-green that never could quite get to summer. Tenacious weeds spread all over the planet that will never be called Mars, and even they can barely breathe. Only stubbornness keeps life on Eris, and they would not even be able to endure if Cradle's Graces didn't patiently tend to them. They spew pollen uselessly into the air, and between them and the too thin atmosphere, breathing where it's possible is hard. The faith of the fourth planet from the sun, even prettier now, and just as useless to humans. Pluto has flown past the canyon she's concealed in 3 times already. It's been a perfect shot every time. At noon, even with the sun shining directly on her, the flowers and weeds in her pollen keep her hidden. Should Lunatera squeeze the trigger or not? And what else is Lunatera supposed to do? How can she dare to take that shot with Pluto looking so beautiful? How can she not? Why is she trembling like that? Does she know? No, Lunatera realizes she's the one trembling. If you can stop me, I believe in you. I give up on everything, but I know you trust me too much. Pluto said that. She might even be saying it right now, knowing that Lunatera is a perfect shot. If you're not sure if you're right, I really want to test it. I believe we can have a home in space, and there's no way to bring that back to Earth. You believe we can bring home to Earth, and there's no way to have it in space. I believe in us. We'll figure it out. Yet it's impossible for Lunatera to look at Pluto and the Chromacular big as a universe, and think it's better for her to not have that. For Lunatera to keep thinking, I'm freeing her from something terrible and bringing her home. So Lunatera fires. Before she has a chance to decide whether or not to fire, she pulls the trigger. Without considering or having a chance to choose one way or another, her body seizes the opportunity, makes a decision for her, the one they agreed to, without doubt. Lunaterra will betray herself every time. Pluto's exposed left tile reactor shudders and shakes. Oh, I should have seen her coming, shouldn't I? The resulting tile resonance will be catastrophic unless she shuts both reactors off and reboots instantly. She does, of course, and worries about the ship and the whole world and Lunati and doesn't hesitate. Even though that's clearly the plan, the minute she'll take rebooting, we'll have her plunging into the ground and maybe 2 damage to power back on. And so Lunaterra dashes to catch her before that. Again, Lunaterra is the last to know. She's doing it before she decided if she should do it or not. A coward who cannot commit at heart at least commits to not committing, without thinking about how contradictory or ridiculous it is. Pluto's comms are off, so she doesn't have to yell at Lunaterra about why this is so stupid, or how she needs to grow up, or do anything but fall and be secretly happy she's still charmingly stupid. The mare cries even looks very funny trying to catch a ship this much bigger than her. Her engines flare, strain, start to break from trying to slow the fall. Her wound bleeds freely. A tattered, tangled mass falling down, too hard, crumbles in the weeds of Eris, nestless at the canyon bottom. It may not be a livable planet, but it's a soft one. It's hard to breathe for very long, but it feels nice to lie in, ship or body. Sometimes it feels like nothing could be worth giving up a ship, but this isn't so bad. Lunati, are you awake? Yeah, and everything hurts a lot. I gave you some painkillers. Do you need any more? I can't fly on them. You're not gonna fly without them either, Lunati. Your engines are melted. Alright, I thought it did something stupid, but I couldn't remember what it was. It was a breathtaking sequence of poor decisions. When I said I wouldn't be satisfied or forgive you until I fought you in Ares, I meant when I kicked your butt. Kicking your own butt doesn't count. As usual, sorry. Oh, do you want me to move? Why? Do you want to get up? Waking up with my head in your lap feels like you're rewarding me for shooting you down. You can be mad if you want. That's one thing, this is another. There's just nothing else to do with you. You did the right thing, or tried to, and then you did the right thing again, or tried to. You wanted to do the best thing for you and me, but you couldn't decide what it was. There's nothing I can say to that, it's already done, so just lie there already. I might not get another chance, you know? You can hold so much, I'm in awe every time. You're the size of the universe, you see everything and everyone, and you hold all of it. Everything's precious, everything's worthy of you. I'm not. I can't. I'm small. I'm small and scared. Smaller and more scared than you. Don't say I'm not. Okay. I won't. Never again. I'm sorry. You're small. You're just you after all. You have to mean it. You're huge to me, okay? That's okay. I should be. I hear everyone and I can't ignore it. It feels like I'll die if I do. It hurts too bad. I listen to your voice more than any other. Your heart is more important to me. Isn't that proof I'm selfish too? But I'm going to fight with everything I have for those voices, even against you. I just know that no matter what, we're not going to get what we want. If I let myself slip, I'll trust in your future instead. I know we can't beat Memorial Foundation. So I can't afford to blame you. I can't do anything if I can't trust you. It's way easier to hate me. It's what normal people do. What is going on with my eyes? I love not giving you that satisfaction, Lunati. And you really should give up on me ever being satisfied with happiness just for me. Sure, I know as well as you there's no welcome waiting for us on Earth. I don't know if we will be happy there, but I couldn't live there without... Well, if you get a miracle, I won't fight that either. My heart isn't big, but if you ruin the Memorial Foundation, I'd forgive you. I mean, who wouldn't? I too want to be free of Earth. To be free of 9.8 me. I have no clue what that's supposed to say. Are you really sure? I think even a victory will be impossible even if we win it. But maybe you actually have more faith than me. I think we might not make a happier world. But you can learn how to be happy anywhere, even Earth. On Earth we were tied down by the weight of the world. I won't go back to that, even if I go back to Earth. There are 2 ways to do that. Make a home where we set the rules, or bring a new law of gravity back home. If only all of us were as precious and powerful as a planet. Yeah, I also think it's probably how heavy gravity is, if that makes sense. Heavy? Do you say how heavy gravity is? But I can take the shape the world requires of me if that's all we get. That's not true. For you especially, it isn't true. You are the one who didn't let Earth's gravity choose your body. I wouldn't have been able to choose if you hadn't shown me. That's a victory they can't take back from us. Rescue will be here soon. You're almost a real adult, Lunty. I wish I was as close as you. To being an adult? What? Aren't all of you adults? Actually? Declassified Records League. My kids are idiots, and also they're not my kids, and also they're not kids anymore. Please stop calling them your kids when they are my students. They're not my children. I'm not being pedantic. I'm not doing it to avoid being attached. I'm already more attached than is best. Don't encourage it. They're grown-ups and also fools. Mars is the most genius pilot, but she's just as much a fool as everyone else. She does nothing but cry and complain and win effortlessly like a real hero. If she was a boy, they would call her that, and you wouldn't be asking me who the best pilot is. You just know. Only in space would that girl be allowed to be a hero. She deserves a moment in the sun. She might win the war for us single-handedly. Anything else that isn't her story will just be a blip of fade off in the sky. Rest easy. She's going to win the day. When the others interfere, they're not going to steer the course of the future any more than a little bit to the left or right of the course that Mars is sailing. I'm not going to interfere. Valuing their independence is important. They'll be adults soon, and then they won't be anyone's kids. Insist on the comparison, and it will become clear how far we are from fulfilling that role for them. For my part, I don't wish to forget that there are limits to what we can do, and who we can be. Though yes, as a matter of fact, I am tired of them calling me Dad. Secular Astrology Explained Part 1. I don't know why you suddenly ask about this, and I'm not the person who knows not anything about it, but sure, I guess. I learned all of this from Pluto, so you could have just asked her. Too nervous, huh? I see right through you. Well, because I feel sorry for you, I'll tell you all about it. Venus, Lunaterra, and Mars are the interpersonal distances. If Venus is the breath of the body and Mars is the blood, Lunaterra is flesh and represents skin-to-skin distance. That's why it represents family. The Earth and the Moon are different, but they're parts of the same thing, a 2 in 1. Certainly the Moon also represents something different, but it's also a part of us. When you think of it as the dark side, you forget that it's completely of your own same flesh. It's not your mirror, it's your back. Mars is beneath the sky distance, and that's blood, but it's also, well, the ways that humans communicate not skin to skin, but beneath skin to skin. Get it? Don't make me spell it out. That's the reason for fucking and fighting to feel really similar sometimes. Pluto said the other day, it's like you two only know the one language, and that's the only talking you ever do in it. The solar system maps out a human body, and by colonizing the planets, a greater human body will exist, with the sun as the inseparable totality of it all. That's the philosophical justification, but it's kind of romantic, right? Maybe it's kind of fake, though. I'm not following. So I have to ask, how do you really feel about me coming back to Memorial Foundation? You were a loyal and efficient ace pilot for Memorial Foundation for the entire Cold War against our alien and ultimately irrelevant existential threat from beyond the system. Then you were perfectly loyal to the pilots left adrift by the decommissioning of the pilot program and colonization project. Now you're perfectly loyal to Memorial Foundation again. You haven't betrayed our side at all. That's a generous reading. You've betrayed plenty of love-struck pilots, but your loyalty is impeccable. So even if Halimit doesn't trust or forgive you, I welcome your return. That's not going to be a problem, that she doesn't. Oh, she welcomes your return the most, but keep on your toes. That one I don't have any question about. Keep your friends close and your exes closer. Except if you're not still suspicious of me for betraying Memorial Foundation, how about her? Oh, that I'll be mad at both of you about for a very long time. Please don't worry about it, however, as you've both made each other suffer more than enough to make up for your youthful indiscretions. Honestly, the two of you hooking up to somehow get at me was the most hilarious part, as you ended up punishing each other more than I ever could have. Can we talk politics again? I think I get the picture already. That's not to say that the two of you don't still have a lot of lessons left to learn from the experience. Once I'm sure you've learned them, your punishment will be over. I'm suddenly very interested in hearing about factions again. Oh, on that note, I'm not as worried. Just remain true to what you really believe in, Lunaterra. Okay, I will do that.
400mm kiss.
Memorial Foundation deploys a certain sniper to stop escape and resupply routes to the resting Celestial Mechanics fleet. All Saturn needs to do is stay out of trouble. What's the chance of that? Non-existent. Saturn cannot stay out of trouble. That's just not who she is. Guard duty in Olympus City. Command is worried the Celestial Mechanics unit might try to escape while the fleet is launching, using the cityscape as cover. Also, thank you so much for the posture check and the hydro time. What? We've been going for almost an hour again? Wait. Huh? I did. Okay. I did not notice. I did not notice.
Ow. Ooh. Knick snacks. My fingies make funny sounds.
Then they've just given up on catching them on Eris, if their only hope is them being not stupid. It's a ruined husk, and even Krell's Graces isn't clinging to it, like they cling to even the faintest sign of life on Mars. Excuse me, Eris. Well, it's boring, pointless work that no one wants to do, and it's gotta make me wonder if someone's actually mad at me. You let the prototype escape, Lunaterra, and the most generous assumption is incompetence, which from you they have a hard time buying. That's not fair. I'm plenty incompetent. They should know that by now. You're only incompetent in the ways you wish to be. That's an awfully profound way to call me lazy! If you were simply lazy, you wouldn't go out of your way to find so much trouble to get in.
Hello, Ilia, hi! How was Dream? Did you fight a lot of monsters?
Also, don't worry about me being kind of wonky. My usual tracking isn't working.
Stream was fun, nice.
Sounds good. I have to play Monster Hunter myself sometime again. And that's the reason why this assignment is so distressing, as a punishment. Boring you is dangerous. I learned that very early on in your career. There's no way to make you sit still. Oh, maybe I'll try it this time. There's this good sniper spot with a view of the whole city. I won't move from there. Why does it sound less like you're promising to behave and more like you're going to brag about how much trouble you can get in without even moving? Totally sure we should have to.
Yeah,
I'm still in low rank though. So I have to catch up first. Either way, they should to put me back on front, right? Sudden gets no scope by Lunaterra. Oh hell yeah, let's no scope. The balance shifts because Lunaterra could hold still and Saturn couldn't. Correct for gravity, it's unsettlingly weak. Oh, excuse me. Why am I having hiccups today? Correct for the cold blue starry daylight of the fragile Eris atmosphere. Sniping from the remains of the capital spires like being just an eye and a trigger finger. A thrilling place for Lunaterra to fight. Correct for wind, it's skittish and powerless. Correct for gravity, there's still too much of it. Correct for the nuisance of this infirm planet that will never be. Skirting along the abandoned roads of the city that never was is like being an exposed nerve, a thrilling place for Saturn to fight. I see you. Lunaterra squeezes the trigger for the 17th time. The cover couldn't protect the string of pearls from Lunaterra's eyes, and it sure can protect her from a trigger finger. Engage reactor, initiate inertial control. The slug whips right by Saturn, and that's 7 times dodged. The 4 shrinking holes in her chassis, marching closer to the string of pearls' heart, mark what happens when she doesn't. Getting shot still sucks. Saturn isn't used to it. Haha! That one was so close! That was really, really, really close. Timing getting better, right? No way, it's just luck. You've gone from getting hit all of the time to getting hit half of the time. That's better, but what you want is to be hit none of the time. Don't tell me what I want. Maybe I love being shot. You wouldn't be the first. Wow, weird. You must fight some really problematic people. Some pilots find interesting ways to pass the time. I kinda get the appeal. What else is there to do? If you didn't love getting shot so much, you wouldn't run around space shooting each other. If that's true, why did you come here to fight? If that's true, why did you come here? There's nothing left to fight over in Eris for anyone. Give me one thing to do, more fun, and look demure and get shot at. Someone has to do the shooting. That tells me what position you favor, but it doesn't answer my question. I'm taking evasive maneuvers. If I dodge the next one, answer my question. I won't answer the first one, but I'll answer a different one. If you dodge. Saturn gets so quiet, she gets so still, yet her heart is thumping, her reactor is strumming with resonance. It's obvious Lunaterra sniping her from the tower, the city's last and tallest building. But now, suddenly she isn't so sure. She isn't sure if she knows where Lunaterra is, or if she knows anything about her at all. What did her face look like again? Hit. It's not that Saturn wasn't on the ready. She's baiting. She knows exactly what she's doing. Lunaterra just guessed for the 1/2 second where Saturn wasn't ready and slipped her solid light bullet in that space. The shot lands right in her throat. For a moment, Saturn's just, I'm dead, but she's not. Then she hurts so bad she wants to die. But she's just mistaking the very different things the string of pearls feels instead of that. It's not really pain, but it's a feeling so overwhelming it shuts Saturn down like pain would. It's fascinating, full of information. Ha! Lunatera, you're not doing a very good job of convincing me to not try and get shot. I've heard that before too. You sure having fun? What makes you think that? Wanna know how I know? When correcting for gravity, the impression you leave in space feels a little for a second like... Well, someone might say it's like an eye roll, but I think it's kind of like a giggle too. Haha. Maybe that counts as a hit. You don't win a cat and mouse... Wait. You don't win cat and mouse games by betting every time a head pokes out. Except somehow you do. You're good at making people not follow their own better instincts. You shouldn't be getting me to teach you to fight fair. You do much better like this. Oh, thank you. I don't fight fair because I have absolutely no idea how to fight. But this is why I hate you, Lunatera. You just don't get it. I want to beat you at something you're good at. You're really tough. Not your sniping, which can stop me at all, but how you're totally impenetrable. You're doing something tricky. What are you doing? It's still my question, my hit. That's the rules. Why are you here? Firstly, because I refuse to have a reward, just like you. Secondly, wiping that smug expression off your face is my deepest desire, so teach me how to weave through your fire and sink my claws in you. What's the third reason? Not telling. I already gave you one for free. Nice dodge. My question then. Dodge the real one first. Lunatera fires and Saturn leaps forward directly into it. The bullet misses, her tail sparks, and she thrusts through the atmosphere. How's that? Good work, but you have to keep it up. Lunatera lands a bullet straight through her legs and Saturn crumbles. But the moment her limbs heal, Saturn leaps again. She's ready for the next bullet, but not the one behind it. But that one's a clean shot right through her, no stopping power at all, and she leaps through again and is gone in the rubble before Lunatera can land another shot. Is there more dodges or more hits? Counterpoint, here's my opinion on getting shot so far. It fills my brain with overwhelming information and barely stops me from doing anything at all because I'm in control of an impossible space war machine. So can you actually say you've really hit me? Flawed argument, really disappointing, and I was expecting a lot better. Am I losing? Can I ever lose no matter how much you shoot me? I don't think so. I don't actually think so. This machine is never going to lose. You can pin me down. You might be so much better than me. I couldn't beat you in a million years, but I will keep trying and beat you with dumb luck. Maybe that is true. You never hit me. Why are you here? Did you know that there's a theory that ship selves can't actually be destroyed? You can break as much of them as you want, but the gravity engine will always pull it back into shape. As long as you're sufficiently tenacious, you can survive anything and try again until you get it right. So you do get what this machine is for. My least favorite person in the world came up with that theory, and this is a ship self to test it, so naturally I know all about it. But it's true that no one has died. That's why they get to say that there's still no war in space, dodging my question again. But in practice, wrecking a ship self until both the pilot and the ship give up is indistinguishable. Because you can become so broken, continuing is impossible. Even if they can't kill you, you can be changed. You think you can do that to me, or is that what you want to have happen to you? I have. Two people who have much more fun with this than you do. Ha! Just don't call it a war, it's nothing but play finding. All it takes is someone not playing along to ruin it all. A solid light slug passes so close to Saturn's head the heat chars her face black. But it's not a hit. She incremented to the left 0.05 seconds before impact. Oh, you are getting better. It's definitely my question now. I'm still answering. The theory has not been disproven, it's more than likely true. But this is something you should know first. Your body can't be killed or destroyed, but it can be changed. When you're hit, truly hit, you're bent into a different kind of shape, and through that you can change. I think you should ask yourself if you're ready for that before you say you want to play with me for real. Speaking from experience, about that always bleeding wound in your ship self? It's not always a bad thing to change. Last one. If you can't dodge this, I don't think you're ready. Once again, Saturn feels Lunatera slipping away. She's not here. She's not anywhere. She never was. Once again, it's my hit. Electricity explodes from the target point and connects back to the origin. It starts from where Lunatera is, and when it connects back to Saturn, fast as light, the course correction defines the pathway retroactively. Wow. Huh. Haha, I'm an idiot. This is great. You're not supposed to be ecstatic about someone getting the best of you. That's my move. Sorry, but I was condescending before. Next time we fight, it'll be for real. What if I don't want to fight? Then that'll be real then too. Man, I am not following. But okay, sure. You guys have fun with your fights and not real fights, and then again fights suddenly. Receiving report. Provisional acceptance of pilot mission completion. Incoming alert. All Memory Foundation troops. Abandon Ares front line. All units immediately rendezvous with main fleet at the Pilot Academy Lagrange colony on the way to Celestial Mechanics Moonbase. Generating new assignments. Provisional assignments. Special operations mission. Secure Lagrange colony as possible launch point for Celestial Mechanics hit and run tactics. Provisional assignment, special operations mission, destruction of obsolete academy research technology before it falls into the hands of Kredel's Graces. Provisional assignments will reduce your penalty status. Indicate you have understood new orders. Yes. Ready for gravitational catapult, prepare launch to Lagrange point 5. I like the colors of this one the most though. I'm a sucker for some nice oranges. Orange is one of my favorite colors actually. Secular Astrology Explained Part 2. I only did this because you asked, okay? I warned you. This is dorky stuff. The ancient roots of it are pretty dubious, in case you were wondering. I think most of it is just made up. I mean, yes, I know that it's all made up, but not even made up by some wise man 1,000 years ago. It's made up by some dude in California. Anyways, what the dude from California does is he organizes the parts of the body into the parts of the mind and the spirit, and he says that what you should do is think about your body not as a body, but as a tool for relating to other people. I know that they draw them on a body, but it's like, don't think of them as actual body parts. It's the way that you communicate. So this shot might help. I think the point of it, in a way, is to remember that these are all parts of you, but also parts of other people, and you have ways of communication between each other using them. People always ask me for their charts because they want to be flattered about what they're good at, but that's not the point. You need to know where you have trouble too. I looked at mine so much right before we broke up, you know, like it did any good, but you know, I'm so weak when it comes to Venus. That's the distance of breath, which means ability to read the atmosphere and talking. The way communicate through breath. I think that's supposed to be a we. When you're bad at Venus, that doesn't mean you're bad with words, but you're bad at receiving words. You don't hear them, or you don't feel other people the words they need to live. Well, according to your chart, you're bad at that too, so I hope it helps. The what? Whose chart? What? Pilot Honeymead annual report. She's not coming out of her room, refuses to pilot. I like the colors of... Yeah, me too, me too. That's what I like as well. She's not coming out of her room, refuses to pilot it. Figures the most well-behaved of all Generation 2 pilots would have a tantrum like a storm when it finally came. Do you expect me to know what to do about it? Yes. It's really your problem though, isn't it? Don't start, I'm begging. Fine, fine, what's the big problem then? She get over it. Is she upset about her sister? Of course she is, but not for the reason I thought. What did you think? That she missed her? Hilarious, and what's the actual reason? She won't accept the hand-me-down. The low sulky. She won't pilot it. She won't pilot a perfect second-generation machine because it was made for her sister. She wants her own machine made. She's ridiculous. She said it would be fine if she died, but if it's just because she flaked out and got bored with space and left her problem in Honeymead's lab, she won't do it. Are siblings really this petty and mean? Stop laughing and help. Yes, siblings are this petty and mean. I don't have any siblings, but from all I've heard from sibling having friends, and the general... Whoa, that was close. That was almost my graphic tablet. Whoops. From everything I've heard about anyone who has siblings is that, yes, arguments can be very petty. Do we get along better or worse than back then? Let's talk about something else. Oh, is it really so bad these days? We don't get along because we're too much like each other. We used to be so different. What happened? I got old and learned a lot. That's enough to make me more like you. You're not giving me enough credit. Really? Do you think I'd blame you for being too good at teaching me the same lessons that made you who you are? Well, I'd always hoped. I blame you if I felt like it. There's nothing to blame you for. Nothing you warned me about turned out like you said, so I stopped paying attention to any of your advice. I thought I was too smart for the rest, so it's just a coincidence we ended up like each other. I never minded your lessons. Are you sure? I was a harsh teacher. Are you really glad for it? I am happy for everything I learned. Not for everything you taught me. I mean, it wasn't like you were wrong. Everything you said would happen happened, but none of it happened like you said it would. If I followed your advice to the letter, it wouldn't have helped me at all. It was all just different enough. So I came with my own others. It wasn't until I looked back on them that I realized it was exactly what you would have done. Fair, I suppose. I should count out a success for me, but also due to your effort for you. That's just what I wanted, though. I certainly never wanted a carbon copy of myself. I wanted you to improve on what you'd been handed. Did you think you did a good job? Shouldn't you be asking yourself that question, since you're the one in charge of the education? I was afraid you'd say that. Don't come to me for answers now, of all times. Huh, well. At least there's plenty of time left for me to turn out right in the end. I'm glad I'm past the constant argument times with my sister. Yeah, I can imagine. Our neighbors have lots of kids. You can always hear someone arguing. Well, it's more like someone screaming for their toy and someone else is already using it, so that's the most arguments I hear from them. They're all kids, little kids. Look at me. The Cold War is long over and the existential threat is gone, but its memories still stay here at the observatory. Will it be put to rest here or buried forever? Wait, what's this one? You're quiet, Europa. What's up? Is that unusual? Sometimes, but you said I have a briefing for you 5 minutes ago. Ah, it seems I lost track of time again. But don't you already know what the mission is? Close the lens to prevent Gretel's crisis from opening it further. For the purpose of? Who knows? Memorial Foundation on the ground wants it done. It was the observation device for existential threats, but in the end we never knew if that we were seeing was what there was, or if we, the observers, were just seeing what we wanted to see. When it became clear that celestial mechanics had been pushing development in the direction of things that they did not themselves understand, we chose to destroy the colony. Later works of the space colony area showed signs of an art and design movement potentially hazardous and implicitly treacherous to the human race. But very lovely. I wish we hadn't caught on so quick. Memorial Foundation on Earth would be loath to admit it, but it's possible it did, and does in fact work in one or more ways. Casts it all in a new light, doesn't it? I didn't expect you to feel so nostalgic. I have some happy memories of the Academy, don't you? Yes, some. But I'd rather move forward in any way at all than keep dwelling. That's always a virtue if you ever learned from it, and you're not just trying to forget. Keep your advice to the mission and not me. Well, I only have an interest in the success of one of those two things. The gate collapses in nostalgia and disaster. Ooh. Well, that's not nice. It all goes wrong almost immediately. They both should have known better. The observatory looked small from the Academy gardens, but up close it's big enough to lose the two of them in. A telescope of a certain kind, for observing a threat that was entirely existential and possibly not real, and maybe a weapon too. Maybe a weapon that worked so well it destroyed humanity's enemies before we even could prove they were there. Now, even the intellectual curiosity isn't worth keeping it open. There's too many enemies, real and existential, on Earth to worry about once elsewhere. The mission wouldn't have become such a disaster so quickly if the two of them had just fought face to face, if there hadn't been a little awkward still after Eris, if there wasn't still so much past to fight. The one known and guaranteed function of the observatory and its lens that sharpens gravity into a laser-sharp gaze is it brings time to you before you're ready for it. Lunatera knew she'd never be able to stop Pluto if she saw her face to face, so she went directly to close the observatory's lens.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Pluto knew she wouldn't be able to stop. Wait, no, I read that. Blah, blah, blah. No, it's just that both. Yeah, okay, never mind. Pluto knew she wouldn't be able to stop her face to face, so she forced her eye to stay open with gravity alone rather than confront her. A stubborn, indirect fight, like two children pulling on a toy until they tear it in half, and that's what they did. Push, pull, tug, until their iris cracked, contracted, stalled, ground to a halt, exceeded its limits, and shattered and collapsed. Even without the gravity of the colony's tidal reactor, there's enough gravity to, when condensed in a single point, cause disaster. Move, Pluto, we have to get out right now. Luna T, you idiot! Stubborn jerk! Mars was right about you. I told you I wouldn't budge. Why did you call my bluff like that? You're right, I'm an idiot. It's my problem and it's all my fault, so move. My cores are desynchronizing. The gravity quake is destabilizing the tidal resonance, you jerk, so I can't move. Why did you keep pushing? No, it was going to happen. I'm more stubborn than you, always. No, not having it. You already said everything is your fault, and that is now true forever until the end of time, which this gravity quake is probably going to take us to. Fine, I place my reactor in resonance with yours to stabilize. Then max thrust and we get out of here. There's no way your ship has enough power to keep up. Then leave me. No, you need to live so I can keep yelling at you. Don't even think about not leaving with me. Then let's do what I said in the first place. Get out of the observatory before it swallows us. Have you ever been in the epicenter of a gravity quake? Maybe it'll be fine. Don't you dare let that make you feel better. It shouldn't. The iris is shuddering and shattering and sparking. The tidal forces rock through them. Living in space means not having to know which way is up, but now they can't even tell when is up. Down and up and left and right, they're everywhere and nowhere, and the exit of the closing eye is forever out of reach of space and time. Where are you going? That's upside backwards. I can steer. How can you? Here, fine. I'll guide you. Hold on. Pull the That already happened. It's about to happen. It's happening right now. It might happen. It's continuing to happen. Luna T, calm down. You know better than to be paralyzed by linear time like that. Just do it. Whatever it happens to be whenever it comes up. Forget the tense. If you're about to do it, you do it. If you've done it, it's done, and I already have done it. If you can't, so what's next? It's always the future in space. That's the point of coming to space. You go there when you want to be in the future now. It is the word of will be and maybe to be, never is or was, reaching but never grasping. A future severed from the present that causes it. Light floods from the iris of the lens, then it shuts again, many infinities to come. I'm Pluto, what's your name? Sunatera, I'm assigned to protect you. You're sweet, but so sad. I'm happy to meet you, but when I'm so happy you seem sad. Why is that? Oh, no, sorry, that's super annoying. Dr. Nix keeps telling me people think it's rude when you just read the story of them instead of asking them first. You're not supposed to be able to do that to me? Oh, no, sorry, I'm excited, but do happy things make you sad? Sometimes a little. I'm glad you're having fun at least. I'm sure you have fun too. I can share being happy. That's the function of love. Do you love me? Yeah, you get it. Love makes the universe work. Do you know physics? You don't have to be jealous of me. You know everything I was giving. You deserve that too. I'll cut your old dead name out of the story just like I did for me. Focus, Lunatera. You have to be faster than thought. You have to feel. Trust your instincts. Cut through the edges of the possibility of space. Lunati, it's okay. It's hard, but you don't have to cry. There's lots of us here. We can beat them together. I don't know what to do. What they want is impossible, but I want it too. Why can't I just make it happen? I can see everyone's desires, but I just can't make it all fit. Why can't I forgive them? Why can't this work? Why won't anyone help me? If only I was bigger, but I'm messing it all up. If only I wasn't here. You're part of it. Don't erase yourself from the equation. You're the universe. They hate us. They'll never be happy in a universe where you're happy too, so let's run. If they don't want us to be a part of humanity, we don't need their credit either. They're considering escalation of the conflict. Memorial Foundation wants to keep it an existential disagreement, but Earth wants to make it military. I guess we weren't human enough to be wanted on Earth, but we're human enough to be dealt with the way that humans do. The better we do against the Memorial Foundation, the more it pushes them to write us off as a lost cause and prevent the complications we cause up here by killing us. You were so hard on them before. Forgiving your enemies is good. It's cruel to take us back, but they're trying to protect us, and they're the only ones who understand how hard it is. We knew we couldn't escape Earth's gravity, and I guess they know too, that it's a war with no point and they don't even have to worry. Is the chance worth it? I don't know. Where would you bet? On them. You should go. No, not without you. No, dummy. Go so you can save me if I mess it up, and I'll stay in case you do. I don't trust them, but I trust you. Whichever of us is right will deliver the art of the future. Yeah, okay. It makes a lot of sense that you should play Lunatera's story last. I think I saw someone say that. Why am I so small, by the way? Makes a lot of sense. Like, imagine you read this one as the first story, you'd be completely lost. You don't even know half these people. Light blows through the iris fragments and the universe exists again, a place and a time. Clinging to each other in that place are Pluto and Lunatera to remember their life. Broken, but alive. Pluto, are you okay? Of course not. We almost were swallowed up by time and space, and I almost lost you again. And I had to go through it all again. Everything. Me too. It was hard. It was so hard, but we did it. We messed up. There's no fixing it. And who cares? You're still here. I'll still fight you to the end. But just so I can know it's for real. So you can stay like this for a little if you want to. Yeah.
Interesting.
Regarding Mecha 1 Mare Chrysium. In a ship self, you don't have to worry about dying, not in the same sort of way. A ship self, you know, isn't even a weapon. It's a body for living and traveling in space, and it is equipped for doing the sorts of things that humans need to do, like fighting. The ship self, which lets you express like it's your own body better than your own body, is a machine that's for falling in love and having fights. It's formed to literally suit us. It bears only the most abstract resemblance to something designed to kill another human being. The most efficient possible form for ending lives as quickly as possible wouldn't look anything like a human, and that's why Europa designed them from a child's toy. The ship self isn't a perfect form for war, it's a form that by nature turns war into something else. Part of this is due to humanity's relative weakness in space, separated from the origin of our gravity. Even with the power of a tidal reactor, we've barely come close to developing a ship self with gravitational and metacultural authority equivalent to a human beings on Earth. While humans on Earth need to devote most of this authority to keeping their shape, identity, and differentiation from other humans, a ship self is less authoritative even than this, though in space they have far fewer restrictions than humans on Earth. If a ship self were to make planetfall, it would be crushed under human pressure and rendered lifeless. Yep, that's evaluation.
Hiyo! Hello! How are you?
Game? Heaven will be mine.
As it says right there.
Down there. In the title bar. Heaven will be mine. Things humans have to do fighting. Yeah, I was about to say. Are you sure that's what humans are supposed to do? Fight? I'd rather not fight. No, it's gratifying to know you share my suspicions as well, as I understand that it is the purpose of this committee to prepare for any eventuality. That this particular possibility hadn't crossed your minds was beginning to worry me. Oh, I'm no less worried now, but you're asking how to deal with Yeptis. That sense of superiority he has is not a weakness. It's truly dangerous, not just unpleasant. If he seems gracious or forgiving about a loss, it's only because he's utterly confident he will eventually be able to surpass you. But he's a realistic man. He will find the easiest route. Merely coming out on top in the end is enough. He wouldn't consider the quality of how he got there. In fact, it would reinforce his sense of superiority to know he surpassed you without having worked as hard as you did. Just resting. Hope you're doing fine. I am. I'm enjoying myself with this last route. He's shockingly good at predicting others, except for the moments in which he is wildly underestimated one. These fascinate me in particular. He can be so uncanny when it comes to gleaning specifics from trivial behavior, and then he's blindsided by the most obvious conclusions. His lack of respect for interiority is quite stunning. His win rate without having it should appall anyone with a general respect for human beings.
Glad to hear.
What is the moon, Rob? Lunaterra? Halimede says it was something you used to talk about. Oh, yeah. We were thinking about crashing the moon into the Earth. Literally? Yeah, that too, in the end. The goal of the space program used to be to make all of the solar system figuratively equivalent to Earth. When humans touch it, it becomes ours. That's why we'd use the Greek word to identify the physical bodies of space, and the Roman to represent our understanding and incorporation of it. We were being silly, taking a metaphor way too literally and way too far, joking about crashing the solar system together. It would make sense to return it. It would be nice and neat. Killing absolutely everyone? Yeah. It was a horrible thought I shared with Halimede. She hated it, but she kept on arguing about it with me. The Earth looks so fragile and small here, and the moon looks so big. That's probably why. It was a bad joke, and she never thought it was funny. Good. She's very perceptive when it comes to that. I'm surprised always that people can find that self-destructive streak of yours harmless or imperceptible. I'm glad she didn't. I'm surprised you kept me around given that. Should I have given up? Is that even a question? You should have followed your instincts. You appear to be misunderstanding. I take my work very seriously. As a leader, a woman, as a pilot, as part of the Memorial Foundation. You know that they're very real things Memorial Foundation believes in, and I believe in them too. Yeah. In seeking to bring all people together, however, there are choices that have to be made. Should we cut the world to fit its people, or the people to fit its world? That is what we struggle with the most. Cut does not have to be a bad thing. It can be what's right for you or for the world, making space for what exists without allowing it to be erased. Those the world abandons die, which is unacceptable, or they become another world, which is also unacceptable. A kind of violence, like smashing the earth into the moon, hoping for togetherness and killing everyone instead. We didn't find the right solution, but at least we knew which was the wrong one. I mean, you know, crashing the earth into the moon or the other way around? How? Why? Why would you do that? Deeper cuts. In the garden district closest to a malfunctioning and broken tile reactor that kept the colony together, time and space aren't quite right. It's the perfect place for a real fight. How deep in the Lunatera skin do you think she can get? Oh boy. Come on, Europa, it's weird when you won't order me. Can't you say I'm hesitating? Show some politeness. It's weird to see you hesitate, you don't do it. And stop making it more weird, if you please. Let a woman be weird for once. I have no problems returning to the colony. I wouldn't have thought you would have more hang-ups than me. You have no regrets, no pain, at any of your training or your service on the war, about anything that happened here? About the people you met there? I don't have any problems returning to the Lagrange colony for this mission. The academy where you shaped us all? No, I'm happy to put it to rest. I was a real idiot, so I don't mind seeing it trashed, or trashing it a little more to stop the Celestial Mechanics pilot from taking back the Lagrange reactor. Ah, you've taken an interest in Saturn. Professionally, she's a dangerous enemy. She was in Aeptus division, but she was, yes, very clever. The Lagrange reactor is a worthless shot of nostalgia. Aeptus must be truly egomaniacal to send a prototype unit after it. That's a bad sign. The worst fights always happen over something worthless. It's certainly a trap, but you know that. It's still a chance to get one over him and stop the pilot if you're prepared to be serious. I'm always serious. Are you serious enough to stop playing? I'm not playing. Whether you're serious or playing isn't a matter of how you feel about it. It's a matter of whether you're committed or not. If you're playing because you if you simply can't decide. You can't play forever. I told you I still haven't decided. I'm not closing off the future until the last moment. You said what you want about the future when the future comes. But you will never move from this point if you don't decide how you feel about the pilot. Europa. Oh dear, you're feeling guilty again. Well, that's to be expected. I don't mind if you lose against that one or win. Just choose, right? You didn't have to tell me. I know what happens if I don't. Fight for real in a fun way? Fight for real in a fun way. No, we're going to fight for real in a fun way. This time. We haven't seen that option yet. Not long ago, the Academy gardens were beautiful and they were warm. Now they're colder than space because no feeling is as cold as wet is, not even vacuum. Under the stability of artificial gravity, Lagrange colony was as Earth. Maybe even a little bit more. In being more Earth than Earth was, it was also less, and so Memorial Foundation Existential Safety ordered it abandoned first when the space program was decommissioned. Not everyone agreed, and then there was a fight, and then the colony became like this. Ruined in a way only human things can be ruined. The reactor was shattered, and with it all possibility for life and culture. Yet still, some of it lingers. Moss grows, objects gather. Sometimes they're whispers, tidal memories, etched into space-time by the humans who spent too short a time there. True space is more of a numb feeling. It's the call of nothing, and it feels like nothing too. I'm not so lost in nostalgia I can't tell when I'm not alone. And I know I'm not alone, so say something. Haha. Ah, so you did come. You're always close by. And you're always hiding something. And you're always just out of reach. Even though I've seen your face, I feel like I haven't. Even though I've shot you through your heart, it feels like I never touched you. Maybe you're just dense, Lunatera? I felt I was plenty. I should say that about you, in fact. Lunatera, maybe you're the one who never came close enough to touch me. Am I just that good, or are you holding back? You're slippery. And you've gotten better, too. What makes you say that? I don't already know where you are this time. I must have been doing pretty awful before then. No, you weren't. But it's still unbelievable that you've gotten so good in such a short amount of time. So don't believe it. There's no hiding how much I suck, huh? No, the opposite. There's no way you weren't as good before. That's not true. You've definitely been trying, haven't you? I never fought other pilots. Did you fight something else? That doesn't count. It was nothing but training and then nothing. The existential threat was never real. It was a trick of the light, and our weapons pierced it with 100% accuracy every time, and no one was ever hurt, and it never became real enough to fight. That's true. It's also true that this isn't a real fight either. You were right when you called it play fighting. These machines weren't ever designed with practicality in mind. They simply aren't made with the intention to kill. I've read plenty of Dr. Nix, I don't need a lecture. And you're not even explaining it right. They did make ships serve with practicality in mind. They made them specifically in a shape that would not allow for death and war. Dr. Nix just didn't want an end to conflict, because that's silly. You can't be human without it. Death defeats the purpose of conflict, which is how humans communicate and change. Death and war end conflict. The ship self signals the fundamental transformation of human conflict from suffering into love. If you know it, explain it the right way. If you knew Dr. Nix, you might have a harder time taking it seriously. I'm not part of Credit's Graces for a reason, you know. I'm not that dumb. Not that I don't get the appeal of wanting to be that dumb. Just kidding. No, I do too. Pluto's the defect, doesn't she? Yeah, I feel dumb every time. She really makes you want to believe with your whole heart, even if you never really quite can. And neither can she all the way through. She just tries very hard. Lunaterra, why are you really here? To stop me from taking a worthless artifact to fall into an obvious trap for another chance of stopping me once it fall? To rack up the glory and take all the errant children home for Memorial Foundation? To mess me up? Or to make out with me? Sudden feels herself growing in Lunaterra's eyes, suddenly clearly seen. Wasn't I just perfectly clear? What's a ship body for anyway? I'm here to communicate. Aha, Lunaterra, you're really shallow and kinda dumb. I'm honest. Finally, you're lucky that's enough. Are you ready for that though? I don't think you're ready. Well, I think I'm ready. You want me to check? I won't give an inch. I'm not like you girls. I'm not a cosmic glow of energy in the dark. Still, I'm metal, and I'm sharp. You really think I'm not like that too? But I'm already behind you. It's a double lie because the movement is to her left, but Saturn is coming from behind. Lunaterra's instincts are too good for her to not twitch fire to her left, even as she realizes it's just bullshit. But then there's nothing. The feeling of being so close to being stuck that she can't tell if she was or not. I really not like us girls. I'm nothing special, like I said. But you dodged it. It wasn't real. Nothing to dodge. Obviously, that's the part that's hard. I'm fighting for real, just like you want it. You're the one who wants that. And fine, dodge this. Lunaterra's vision fills with pink, the neuroelectric toxin melting into her skin. It feels hallucinatory. Wow, that's a hard word. Hallucinatory, weird, stubborn, aggressive, vulnerable. Just like Saturn. In the poison electric haze, Lunaterra feels a little like Saturn. Ha! Got you! I like being wrong sometimes, you know. I like not being Memorial Foundation's perfect ace. It doesn't seem to really suit you if I'm being perfectly honest. Neither does playing by the rules. If ship selves don't play by the rules when you're fighting, it stops looking like fighting. Oh yeah? What does it start looking like then? Also, that's not why I am. Liar. Are you willing to bet on it? Yeah. Then go! Stakes of hard light are fine for flirting, but that's not what this is. The Mercrisium spear, made for reconciling the Earth and the Moon, is meant to be used up close. It's the distance where skin touches skin, the obligation that humans have for other humans, hard like gravity and warm like light. If no one has been worse at wielding that duty than Lunaterra, she's all the more the one who should be carrying that weight. Saturn only realizes after, when the lightness and heaviness starts to lift, that it had hit her too. Wow, I didn't think it was even possible to have a gravity less suited to you, let alone for you to be so good at using it. I really hate being in charge actually, and I'm bad at it too. But sometimes you're the only one left who can do it. Even if you hate it and it's totally self-destructive? Especially then. Sometimes I think, why do we have to fight anymore? Let's just do this obscene other thing that fighting could be. And then you say something like that and I want to fight you so bad. You wouldn't get it. Haha, you're hilarious. It makes you want to see you squirm. Like, in a nice way though. You can try. What? It's just funny. I love it when you play cool, cause you're not. Let's communicate aggressively. That's what humans do. Sure, I've already given up on a worthless reactor. They're never gonna scold me enough to make me regret this. Alright. But we don't get to see that.
Day 7.
Receiving a report. Report data unverifiable. Awaiting manual acceptance. Report accepted. Damage to Lagrange colony indicates most likely fulfillment of duties. Incoming alert. All Memorial Foundation troops. Prepare for excuse me. Prepare for landing on Moonbase. Krell's Graces and Celestial Mechanics troops have seized control of the gravity well. We must prepare for the confrontation we have always feared, but there's still hope. We will bring everyone home safe. We have Earth on our side. We will be prepared. Generating new assignments. Assignment scouting mission. Verify status of Earth control automators military units. Assignment 3 times. Spend as you wish before the final battle. Your record is clear. Indicate you have understood new orders. Yes. Ready for gravitation and catapult? Welcome home. Almost. We're almost there. Almost at the final fight. Lost story. A rivalry. Okay. I was waiting for this chance. Me too. Thanks for obliging. Anytime, but I'd love for this to be the last time. Oh yeah, do you have a plan for raging that, or are we just going to fight forever without end? Do you win when your win ratio tips over 50%? It's climbing for sure, I can't deny it. You're slipping, getting lazy. I'm just bored. I don't want to win an argument. I don't want to win a fight. I just wish you were dead, okay? Me too. Okay. I can't kill you, and I don't really want to either. Well, same. Man, don't talk like Neath, you know that pisses me off. Don't say their name then, maybe? Maybe they died because they were tired of us having the same fight over and over again forever. Are you kidding? They lived for it. Man, what a bitch. I know, right? I really miss them. Me too. Wanna fight about it? Man, jeez, sure, I get it. What? Wanna fight about it? Fuck space! Okay. You know what? Fuck space. It's complete garbage. The secret no one here ever wants to admit is that space is boring and empty and it's desolate and lifeless. It's not romantic and it doesn't care about us. They embellish dull grey photographs of dust with beautiful colors to pull our heartstrings, but the reality is nothing but different shades of grey, the palest colors. But you know what? That's not even the most embarrassing part. The most embarrassing part is that humans can't do anything better than imagine space as just like Earth, but a little different, filled with people who are like us, but a little different. Well, hey, guess what? They're just Earth idiots. You're projecting. Why do you need space to think about Earth? Why are you ignoring all of the people and places on Earth that are like you, but a little different? Why is that a dream more important than us? We're supposed to have dreams, but we're not supposed to just live in them. That's why I'm breaking up. I want to go home. Okay, damn. Someone's not happy being in space. You've had more than a few fights with the Celestial Mechanics pilot at this point, haven't you? Yes, fights, exactly. You've really met your match. In terms of troublesomeness, I think she has me beat. Did you know her? Saturn, a Generation 3 pilot? I was only in charge of combat operations and the 3rd generation never saw combat, even against existential threat. Of course I knew her though. She was one of Yepta's top candidates. He used a variety of methods to artificially jumpstart extreme tidal sensitivity and otherwise unremarkable pilot candidates. I thought none of it worked. The first ship self had manual controls to bridge the gap between your intentions and the energy of the tidal reactors. A complex language, a conversation between yourself and the machine with advanced mathematics. You use your hands, but it is a fundamentally mental approach. Dr. Nix wanted to achieve communication through the soul. Yeptas, however, felt that direct interface with the body would be the most efficient. Teach the body and the mind and soul would follow. It sounds dangerous. Also made up. It's all made up. There's nothing inherently wrong in using the body as a primary medium. However, he inflicted the intentions of the ship selves on the pilots rather than teaching them to express their intentions outward. He wanted subjects, not actors. It's impossible to read the rhetoric of his methodology any other way. Was Saturn particularly resistant? Is that why she was downgraded from primary candidate? No, she was intensely loyal. Like another pair of hands and eyes for Yeptas. It was the opposite. She accepted all of those intentions perfectly. She was perfect. You see the problem, don't you? A doll like that doesn't have the will to compete in tidal conflict. Why are you telling me this? He realized in the end he had created someone as boring as he was. It took a long time for you to learn how to be a person after having been forced to be someone else. Don't forget how to be tended to Hellions, Lunatera. Hellions? What's a Hellion? Hellion? What does that mean? Hellion? Hellion? Ah! Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I have never heard that word before, honestly. Alrighty, give me the moon. It's time to move to the future, peacefully or painfully. No factions, no dreams, just two girls lost and entwined in the warm summer of the moon's day. New orders, Lunatera. Get out for a while. What? Oh, really? You don't need me on standby? Yes, but you're making everyone anxious. The pacing and sighing is becoming melodramatic. Even worse, some of the girls are beginning to find it very attractive. Show them some mercy and give yourself a break, please. Sorry about that, I just snapped at one of the deck mechanics. I am getting tired. I know, and it's giving a disgusting crush on you, so please leave before more of my crew become compromised. I still don't get why that happens. That you don't is less of a saving grace than you might think. It's good that you're not full of yourself, but you have no awareness of your own value. I'm aware. It's not a mystery to me why someone would like to earn the approval of someone who treats them as if they don't deserve it. It's an intoxicating feeling. So why do they think I wouldn't want that too? I am just as greedy and childish. It annoys me. I'm not an invincible monster. I need the same things. Oh, grow up. You're no different than any of my other girls. You're the only one who thinks you actually have to be this made-up person. What, you think you're going to teach Pluto to not take on the burdens of those she cares about when you can't even throw off your own entirely self-inflicted ones? You know my girls aren't stupid enough to not see what a fool you are alongside your strength. They wouldn't find you so charming otherwise. Didn't you learn anything from your terrible relationship with my tragically pathetic niece? I, learned to not pretend I could give someone what she wanted. Wrong. You should have learned that just because someone likes you doesn't mean they don't also know you're an idiot. No one needs you to be stronger. You need to let yourself be weaker. Do that quickly so I don't have to hear any more complaints from you or those girls. Aren't you tired of hearing them yourself? Okay. I guess. Wait, so we dated both the niece and the aunt? What? Okay. It's mid-afternoon, but only half the sky knows it. The burnt gold fades into reds, pinks, purples, and night at the edge where the moon's terraforming abruptly ends. It's such an outlandish light, like standing in the middle of day and night, an unsteady feeling to be on the you know, whatever that word is pronounced like, of a hole between a world and not a world. The boundary between Earth and space is here. Terraforming engines dutifully pour blue, white, and green into the craters and barren rock, the elements of Earth, water, and life. It will continue until the moon is the Earth and the Earth is the moon, cosmologically, philosophically, literally. The long-awaited unification of lunar terror. I want to watch it forever, even though it's not going to keep going forever. There's a pleasure in watching something happening slowly, like keeping track of the moon in the night sky. You can see it happening inch by inch. You have to be patient, but it's such a satisfying feeling. Lunatera looks up from her resting spot and Mare cries him's foot. You ever watch it like this, Pluto? I thought I'd finally snuck up on you for once. I'm still not as crafty as Saturn, darn. You were pretty close before I noticed you. It could have been a surprise if you really wanted a surprise attack. I wanted to see how long you trust me with your back. How'd I do? Great, until you tried to be clever at the end. Whoops, I'm definitely going to get yelled at again. You got yelled at? Like I was in the academy again? It wasn't great. I wish I could have seen it. I'm really glad you didn't. I've seen all of your most embarrassing expressions, but I never get tired of seeing more. It's no use hiding them from me. Fine, I give up. Wow, you should get humbled more often. It's making you really cute. You don't want to fight this time? I was hoping we could do it honestly for real for once. It might be our last chance for that sort of fight. I was thinking that too, but it's our last chance to take a walk like this. Today I want to do that instead. It's not like the end of walks are at stake. There's gonna be more walks, Lunatera. But not exactly like this. I like it in the middle of things, the stillness of change. In the halves and in between, so like you to be rooting for them, Lunati. Okay though, because you asked. You never asked for anything, so you should get it when you do. Come with me, I want to show you something. What they find is a waterfall, or something that's trying to be a waterfall. The rushing water flows through the canyon until the atmosphere becomes too thin and the sun becomes so bright it turns to vapor and dissolves. Oh, that's a funky waterfall though. Imagine you follow along this waterfall and then suddenly it just starts evaporating. Ooh. A rush of water stopping abruptly yet very slowly to the point where it stops is moving forward. Eventually the atmosphere will take hold and the sun won't be able to strip the air and water from the moon. It's one of the last valleys left where space is still here, where nothing in the inverse still exists, instead of everything in us. I thought it'd make you happy. You love lilacs still? Oh wow, they grow so fast here, I wonder how. I think the seasons are playing tricks with them. But look, they're trying to grow right into the line of the sun. You can follow the trail until they burn in the sunset. They keep crawling until they reach the valley. We're so unbelievable. Humans can overcome even this. Do sights like this still make you feel kind of sad? A little, but humans still deserve it, so I can't stay upset. This won't be the moon anymore, but part of the earth. And I want to hold the human and the alien together. We lose something if we don't. I wish it could be in our middle place forever. We grasp for something new, but we lose everything we touch. I just want lilacs, and a home, a space with room for us, wherever that is. How much would you give up to have that? A lot. How much would you? All I would need to make that choice is for you to make me feel that way, Lunati. How do I do that? Convince me everything's going to be okay. That we won't be losing anything even though we will. Make me feel that way once again. Well, we're stronger, smarter, more perfect than any human beings on Earth, first of all. Second, there's no place more beautiful on the moon than anywhere on Earth. Really, think. Nothing else in the universe looks that different, that beautiful, that incredible.
Hi! Yes, we're having fun. I hope you are as well. How are you?
Third, touching ship to ship isn't any different than touching body to body. We can speak that same language with just our own flesh. It's just a metaphor anyway. You can be human anywhere. That we did it up in space just means that we can do it back on Earth too. We know the language. First, we never would have been allowed to grow up like we did here back on Earth. Second, space is cool. Third, giant robots are impossibly cool, and nothing you can possibly say will change that fact. We all we have. The world may be awful, and I had to fight so hard just to be provisionally recognized as human. So don't know why I miss it so bad. I wish you could tell me. My standards probably are bad. This probably sounds stupid, but I don't want to believe we couldn't also be happy on Earth. No matter how good the future is, that our happiness isn't that fragile. You know, you say you have very little faith, but I think you have more than me. You don't want to give up. You have so much faith you want to keep going, even if you believe it's totally pointless. You're obscenely stubborn. Things could be much different. You and me especially. We are very, very lucky. But if you had been born in space, we would have been even luckier, but you only get so much. Really exhausted. Oh! Oh, it was your first day immediately?
Wow! Good job though. Good job for getting through that. Yay!
I hope you at least got some good rest when you fell asleep. I worry about what we would be like if that hadn't happened. For me or for you. If what hadn't happened would have taken us even longer. I already feel like I became a person too old. Would we spend our...
That's a typo!
Our lives without ever... Luna, we'd have found another way. Somehow. In Earth or space, no one is ever born whole. We got there eventually, didn't we? I think so too. So I would like to believe that no matter what, we could live and be happy. Even in mortal bodies in our boring, awful home. I mean, they can't undo what we have done. When they take us back, they will have to make us a part of them. It's not the simplest, sneakiest way to get everything we always wanted. You immediately make me leave sometimes, Luantera. Giant robots are still really cool though. Well, I tried. Maybe it worked. It might be too late, but maybe it convinced me. You know, I trust you, even when I can't. Come on, let's go smell the flowers. I want to touch them. I want to see if they're as pretty as I remember from Earth. It's not quite, however you say that, yet, here on the moon. But it's getting there, and the lilacs smell wonderful, and they're soft, and the air and the water's like a dream, the real thing. You're really warm, and you're really cold. Still, you're right. Skin to skin isn't ship to ship, but it's nice too. It feels exactly the same in a different way. No more or less. I missed you so much. I'm here. I'm right here. You really are. You're really still so bold, Lunati. I mean, I'm teasing. Oh, okay.
Yeah! Woo!
But it doesn't mean I'm also not offering. You're so mean to me. But you love it. You can be so strong when you're not trying to be strong.
Woohoo! We have seen all 3 kisses this game has to offer. Yeah!
Which means we're almost done. The existential threat. It was composed of solid light and arrived in multitudes. They never arrived in the same shape, pattern, or texture twice. They were memorable but indistinct. They were like and unlike things that we have seen on Earth, and they could not be touched, except through gravity. We could not determine where they came from, but they always headed towards Earth. We feared what would happen if they passed into Earth too much to learn what their intentions for coming here were, and our pilots defeated them without fail, without any hesitation, without any resistance, flawlessly, beautifully, obviously. The truth has always been that the existential threat is much weaker than humans, no matter what we call it, and there was a refusal to name precisely at all times the substance and nature of the existential threat. First of all, by referring to it as the existential threat, Memorial Foundation international jargon, rather than by common local cultural names. From the failures of the Scout program on Earth, there was a desire to both separate the pilots as much as possible from earthly preconceptions. We did this to understand the new ways in which our pilots could be human, and we did this also to understand how the existential threat would change in corresponding ways, complementing their new humanity. Existential threats are always weaker than us, but they have ways that we do not, and they are always waiting in the corners of the world, looking to overcome us in other ways. In the case of the existential threat as it existed in space, we created a weapon, the Chronmacula, powerful enough to defeat him once and for all, single-handedly, and we did so, and we lost every reason to be in space, and we ended all mystery and possibility. So it is surprising that in filling the void, it became the pilots who took the role of the existential threat, as is known to occur on rare occasions on Earth. Is this Gundam? A little. I mean, I'm not well versed in Gundam knowledge, but everyone is strapped into a big robot, mech, whatever you might call it. Their senses are connected. They fight giant threats in space, but when there's no threat from space anymore, what happens to the pilots? I mean, in this case, they become the new threat. I hate that word. Threat. Did you notice, Lunaterra? Our base now is not far from the Sea of Crisis, where your ship self was made and you first saw it. It's nostalgic, isn't it? Huh, it is, isn't it? Reminds me when we were fighting some theoretical alien existential threat and not each other. Would you prefer those days? I don't think so. No, I definitely wouldn't. I like being less stupid. Fighting with people is better than not even thinking about people at all instead of fantasies. Aren't you going to say that's still your problem? I know when I drilled you like little soldiers, I thought you the opposite too well, but I wouldn't mind if you had second thoughts. Europa, do you feel guilty? We should all feel guilty, but me and my peers especially. We caused this conflict to be played out, and we failed to teach you well enough to endure it. The future we had hoped you would live in was much too childish for you. I know, I'm not upset about that, or I would never have come back here by your side again. I don't want your guilt, or my guilt. What do you need, Lunaterra? I would like you to give me your orders, without guilt or regret or expectation. Of course. Though I've raised you terribly, Lunaterra, I have also always been quite proud of you. She's always been so good, it's scary. I can't deal with good kids. That was Nyx's job. Huh, true. But I don't hear a reason to trust me, or are you going to ground me? You're my student, Lunaterra. I don't have to trust you. Trusting you is not my concern. I can keep you out of trouble anymore, or even tell you what to do. I can only advise my last remaining student. Whether you listen to me or not, or to that girl or not, whether you fulfill your duty to Memorial Foundation or betray us once more. You're getting too permissive in your old age. I've always been permissive, and I've always been old. I thought you said I was in charge. I will advise you no matter what decision you make, Lunaterra, and not quietly. Then what's your advice, since I'm just going to do it? Don't get out of dealing with your ex by indulging your death wish. She's not my ex. Were you not together? Or is it not over? My advice is to not leave things ambiguous this time.
Also, thank you so much for the posture check and the hydro time. Hold up. Oh.
What is happening outside? Is that a police car? What the fuck are they doing? Hello? Someone's driving. Whoa! Way! Funny movement. Someone's driving very slowly on a road where you're supposed to drive very fast, so I'm a little confused. Okay, where the hell is that person going? I don't know. Yeah, I went hyper speed. Yeah, I'm not using the usual tracking because the usual tracking is for some reason not working today. So it's a little fucky. I'm sorry for that. But it's better than nothing. I'd rather be able to move even if it's a little awkward than not moving at all. Alrighty. One more mission and then we'll be at the end. Plastic versus metal. Earth has promised to let the children of space sort themselves out for now, but the machines of war guard the way back home just in case. When Southern Lunaterra meet in a chance encounter, the true terror from humanity stares them down. Oh, that's when they fight that one autonomous thingy, I think. Whew. The fleets are already in motion. Are you ready? No problem. I'm only worried about the trickster from Celestial Mechanics. No end of trouble. You don't sound too unhappy about that. I suppose the trouble will end soon, one way or another. It's simply Reckon this time, but it's on the near side of the moon. An Earth military is there with autonomous devices. They're in very high orbit, but they will descend rapidly if they notice gravitational variability. The ship itself is a shape intended for humans to exist in space, outside of Earth's pull. It isn't intended for war. The military is here with the most direct of intentions, so don't let them achieve it. Funny that the planetary spare doesn't seem to think we're on the same side. There's nothing funny about it. We are not on the same side. We are complicating the problem. We can't let it go as much as Credit's Graces or Celestial Mechanics can't. Earth has graciously allowed us considerable leeway in dealing with the closing of the space program on our terms. Broken and naive as they find it, Memorial Foundation International begged them to let us try to bring the wayward children back home bloodlessly. So we should be thankful that they are just watching and not descending to rout us. Most of Earth would find any loss of human life to space unacceptable, but less and less of Earth considers us fully human. So the mission isn't just to protect any stragglers from getting themselves killed by the forces we're trying to save them from? You don't think we can trust them? If I trusted them to handle it, I would not have led you, the children of space, to fight this conflict. Do you think we can do it? Bring everyone back to Earth? There's a reason I'm not having you interfere with the opening of the gravity well. Everyone will be in one place, at least. What Celestial Mechanics and Credit's Graces hope will be their salvation could be ours too. We're not tied at deadline for something that might be that impossible. What the fuck is that? I'm sorry, it's just there's some weird light going on with that car and it's coming in right through my window that it's irritating me. Because I see it out of the corner of my eye. Win what's in front of you and worry about that later. They hide together in a peaceful moon's winter night. Alrighty. Let's see what this is about. It's winter on the near side of the moon, which means it will be half a month before this hemisphere sees day again. The frosted forest will see spring in a week, summer the week after, and fall a week after that. A year of seasons in a month-long day. Even terraformed could humans live like that. On the near side though, at least the Earth will always be in the sky, eternally huge, shining with authority and kindness, unlike its agent who hangs in the corner of the sky like a migraine aura. There's nothing extraneous about its shape. It is here to do just two things: look, then kill. When Saturn flew a millimeter too high, the autonomous military unit looked, then killed, but just too slow, and Lunaterra pushed her away and dragged them both deep in the winter forest. The new unit looks twice as hard. It's been encouraged to not miss twice. Shh, don't make a sound. You're being too noisy. I get that a lot, but this time I'm not making any noise, so don't tell me to be quiet. You're the one flitting all over the place. They're listening for gravity. Vibrations are not the kind of noise that they care about, so keep moving and don't make noise in your heart. Don't make us sound in all possible senses. Don't make us sound physically, emotionally, or spiritually. Calm down. They don't like it if you're not calm. First of all, that makes no sense. And secondly, I refuse. I don't think you should die, so think of something else to do instead, because they can kill you. Unlike me or any ship self, so think about as little as you can, okay? And keep your tidal reactor's output to a minimum. It helps to make yourself be like an object. You will be a thing that other things happen to rather than an agent. That's what it's looking for. Agency. So it can make it cease immediately. You know, I'm absolutely super good at that. I have a lot of experience with it. So I'm absolutely not going to? Huh, well, me too. That's why I suggested it. But you're right. I shouldn't have suggested it like that. How about this instead? Start by thinking about the Earth. The autonomous device becomes visible instantaneously. It doesn't look anything like a ship self and bears no resemblance to a human shape, because there's no intention for its design to accommodate humans. That's the opposite of what it does. It has nothing to express, only a function to perform. What did I do? Probably thought too hard about Earth, but shh, all the same. It's so creepy. That's supposed to represent Earth? It doesn't even look like humans made it. Really? I think it's rather appropriate. It doesn't look human at all. They can detect an artificial gravity reactor, but they don't really know what to do unless they can lock a target and kill it. So if it can't verify what it is, it won't do anything. It feels so heavy suddenly. What is this? I'm telling you, that's the Earth. Real gravity. It's very, very heavy. You can feel its authority. That's a gulf between us and the planet. I know that. I guess it feels really different to feel it in person. You were saying a way to avoid it? Do you remember being a normal kid, even for a little bit? Or do you remember the last time you acted convincingly like one? Obviously, I was a really good kid, you know. It's checking your gravity against the script and it thinks... Sorry, it doesn't think. It just checks the variance. Aren't I pretty excessively varied by now? Just wait there a second, it's hard to teach on the spot. It's not that I don't know the idea. How are you so good at it? It sounds like you kind of hate that I am. I promised I wouldn't die, but I'm mad I have to do this. Runeterra crawled slowly through the frostbitten green crater to where Saturn is curled among cold desert junipers. The dark, barely perceptible dot monitors them in the pale earth light, so precisely waiting. It's easier to hide if their ship selves are turned off, or as close to that as a ship self can be, so they climb outside to the cold lunar winter to wait. I'm here. Are you doing okay? No, obviously I'm scared. Me too, so forget what I said. I hate doing that too. You're warm laying there? You're not warm at all, but at least your boobs are so... Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Woo! I got really small for a second there. The autonomous unit doesn't like flirting, huh? There it goes. You should think it's sad about how you're keeping a secret. Keeping it really close. Waiting for the perfect moment and no one else can know. Okay, I can do that. That's not that bad. Is it that big a difference? There's indefinite differences between someday and never. I've extremely forgotten how to be patient, but I know the difference. You're right. It really is important to never forget. It's still not going away. Yeah, it's a lot more patient than us, huh? Excuse me. It's looking at you too. Aren't you on their side? Just because we want Earth back doesn't mean Earth wants us back. So Memory Foundation really is that stupid? Maybe. In their eyes we're as bad as you. So why go back? Because fuck them. They don't want anything to do with us. Memory Foundation thinks it's optimal for humanity to return, but I think many humans think it would be just fine if we died. That just makes you want to come back to Earth even more. Aha! Spite I can understand. I can be petty too. I want back, even if only for spite. We will bring them back a little taste of what it's like to be us. They're afraid that we might bring something back with us. As they should be, much more than they already are. That's what I want. Knowing that you're just as petulant and petty as me, and as weak too, makes me reconsider you. In a good way. It's wonderful. Maybe it makes me want to fall in love. Oh, huh. I said maybe. Don't get full of yourself. Sorry. There's no way we're getting any more than half of what we want at best. You're only hoping for half of what you want, so I wonder if you even get that if you get it. I don't expect things to go my way, but you know. I hope you're coming along, whenever it is. Truer than you know, Lunatero, whichever way we go, we're going together. In this cosmic glow, we're going wherever we're going together. I love you. Get used to me now. You made me go upside down on purpose again. You're so good at evasion, but scoring a direct hit is so easy. You win. I've been nice to see the end of every world but this one alongside you. See, the machine's already bored. Or not bored, but uncomprehending, and then it lost interest. But I'll stay here with you until it leaves for good. Because light or fight, petty bitch to petty bitch, lab rat to upperclassman brat. What, really? Do you maybe love me too? What? How do you... Huh? Can't just end it like that. I knew you'd choose us in the end. Even if you didn't choose me. All that matters is that you're coming home. Hi, Hallie. Hello? I'm here. I was just startled why you are replying. Why are you replying? Since you keep messaging me, I thought you'd be less surprised. Oh, what? Hold up. Excuse me. Oh, oh, that's not... Sorry about that. Got startled a second. Just for a second. Don't start. I'll literally never ever forgive you. Sure. That's fine. I'm not apologizing to you. You have so much to apologize for, but it's only to me. But are you saying sorry about something else you're trying to do? Maybe. That's a compromise I want you to consider. I should have expected one more betrayal, even at the end. No, it's more like I want to make sure that you hold up your end of the bargain. No negotiation. The terms of surrender must be unequivocal. That's the only way they will allow us to return. Really? It's not a change to the deal at all. Just asking about how we interpret them. You shouldn't, because I'm going to stop you if you pull anything. Really, I will. Very, very easily. Don't worry about that part. Well, in that case, I'm not going to be sorry at all. You should know that shame is what you've earned and bear it. No. I didn't think so. I think you took away what I needed to be happy. I think I have to learn a new way. It doesn't seem fair that I have to when you don't. I've been learning. It's been hard. That's even less fair. You shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't get to move past this. Sorry. Oh, not sorry. I'm taking this anyway. They're giving you everything you say you want. So what do you really want? Even knowing I got away fine, wouldn't you feel guilty if you got something special and never shared it? What? Memorial Foundation does not have the power or the courage or the hope. They have experience in numbers, and that still matters. It matters the most because the gravity well is whimpering, sputtering, and Earth's tactics, strategic and realistic, are favored. Their weapons are kinetic. They don't fight with anything dreamlike or unique. All they have is to do is the simple job. A fight between giant robots can only be so realistic, but that's the best they know how to do. They've never fought on Earth after all. The gravity well is successfully commandeered by the Memorial Foundation. The limits are made clear. They were rockets built always for entry back home and to take everyone with them. Hallie Mead in the low sulky, soars in glory, holding the dying gravity well in her arms, through which she extends the logic of Earth to every tidal reactor, the exact gravitational constant that determines human to be human. Lunatera, you've done so well. You've been so good. Are you still going to betray us? Europa told me to expect it. I won't, like I promised. Even if the rest of the pilots may not forgive me, they're coming home now too. Is that a problem? I thought it was happiness for all, no one left behind. Emphasis on the no one left behind because the first is too hard. We have to be careful, you know that. They think we're more trouble than we're worth. There's a really simple, easy solution to us becoming another existential threat. A simple way to defeat it and prevent it. When they indulged the Memorial Foundation's plea for an alternative to their method, the one used from the beginning of humanity to the present day, they allowed us. Because we made the promise of submitting without complaint. That's true. Europa never failed to remind me the Earth could just decide to kill us. The Earth cannot be divided, we're meant to be one. Earth is an anchor in space-time for us, it wasn't always like that. We started from zero, we had to carve out our place in the universe bit by bit. We have to move ever forward, marching in progress. As culture marches forward, so does our gravity increase. We need each other and we need this culture, this gravity to make us together. I agree. Humans need to come together. Lunaterra immediately fires a solid light ball into the gravity well restraint mechanism and the gravity well implodes back to life. In the middle of the victorious fleet, communication immediately falls apart as space-time and electromagnetic forces tear through them. You finally did it, Lunati. Something so dumb I don't have time to get mad before I save you from it. You could have at least told me this is what you're planning. I would have, but I wasn't planning this until 10 minutes ago. Hey, I didn't even cut it that close. Tell me you thought of something good, I follow you, even to a bad ending. But not if you've got nothing other than this depressing conclusion. I'd have to hate you to let... What? I'd have to hate you to let you do that, baby. Hands reach from behind her and hold the bell gently, easily as Halimede's fingers shatter. What? Traitor! Sorry, I'm just borrowing it. You're not sorry now and you weren't sorry then. I think you might really wish you were sorry. I want to believe you want to be sorry, but that's not good enough. It's certainly much too late for it. I wish instead of wanting to be sorry, you just wouldn't be able to be happy again. I can do that. Then please deny this. Losoki is almost entirely of constantly reflecting hard light. It emits from every angle at light speed a drowning torrent, a reversed vacuum, a void of energy, an unignorable, undeniable deluge. Light with the substance and pressure and weight of water. The heaviness is unbearable, to Lunaterra especially, yet it's so familiar it's impossible to escape. Automatically, she falls right in. No matter what terrible things you've done, you've never forgotten exactly what you deserve for them. That's how you could make it up. That's how you should make it up, at least not in the same way. Which I know now, I thought I would die before. But the nice thing is, if you don't die from this, you grow up, even if it feels unfair. Are you suffering? Lunaterra reaches her hands as close as she can to the gravity well. Her own tidal reactor holds and creaks with the strain of not falling in. It isn't interested in Lunaterra's dreams, it just wants to have everything. The infinite wish of humanity, Earth's pure greed, the white void, the all-consuming gravity that erases all distinction. Pluto can barely keep the light at bay. It tears into Pluto with perfect synchronicity. Memorial Foundation has been waiting for this chance at the unit designed to defeat them. The one that reminds them of everything they can't have. She's drowning, but her fingers are still reaching, still holding a dying gravity well. The true enemy are the fast approaching autonomous defense units. Unlike a ship's self, they are designed with war in mind. As Halimede said, the easiest option is just to kill us, the option they're almost always most eager to take. No wonder they thought the ship's self program was just a fanciful indulgence. They were surprised then when Saturn tears them to pieces. Huh, I guess you were right. From how unsure you were, you made it sound like it was going to be a lot harder. Pluto, you've been a good influence on her, like how I've been a bad one. We're really suited for a hopeless woman like that, aren't we? Thanks, Saturn. It'll just be a little longer. Don't ignore my nonsense. When this is over, I'm not going to forget it. Sure. You can tease me all you want if you win. You're not very inspiring. It'll be super inspiring if you win, so let's do that first. Saturn poisons the waters. She corrupts the information. What washes over Pluto is muddy, pink, toxic, and definitely bad for you. But at least it doesn't want to eat you alive in the name of love. It just wants to mess you up in a good way and let you mess it up too. The destabilization has gone successfully so far, and the gravity well is diminished and weak and dying fast. That's okay though, it's enough for a little wish. The greatest trick is to just move 1 inch forward. The only trick. Change the physics by a decimal point, in a secret place where they won't notice. Equivalent to inventing a new Earth is changing the acceleration due to gravity by 0.01, however you say that. That is something that is impossible, even with the gravity well. The Earth is the Earth and it will bind everything to it. Except there's a nearby body, in perfect sync, inseparable and distinct, and through its orbit, its tides influence in subtle ways the life of Earth. I understand now. This is something I want too. You coming up with ideas just the worst. Why couldn't you just be a bad person with bad ideas and wicked dreams? It's impossible now. Who would want to give up the moon for the Earth? If we lose, we really look like idiots, and we live alone on a lifeless moon, so let's make sure that doesn't happen. The moon is to be abandoned too, unless you can bring it into such inseparable closeness. No, stop convincing me, this sucks. I still hate you, but fine. Live on the moon, away from me forever. Loose sulky shuts the valve. Earth rips around inside her, but the gravity well, already compromised, begins to glow to life again. For a little bit longer, Earth can touch it, can shut it down. Left to its own devices, the gravity well will bring all things together. Of all the fabulous dream tech of the Memorial Foundation International Space Program, the gravity well, which brings together matter, light and culture, is the strongest execution of their dream. And a pathetically mistaken one too. The gravity wells brings things close until they pass through the event horizon and then can never return to the universe again. The limit where even information can't return. Whether it's a good universe or a terrible one, Lunaterra doesn't intend to find out. She's hopelessly attached to this universe. What we do want is to get a little closer. I thought you said you could find a way to be happy in any kind of future. I think that works only if you try really hard to make it not suck first. See, she gets it. Well, it's not like I think it won't work. If the gravity well is sufficiently strong, it is true. It'll eat away at the tidal forces of Earth. The math is like, the gravitational forces of the Earth will change somewhere in the billions place. How about the hundreds? That's definitely super impossible. I think we move the center of gravity between the Earth and the Moon. We pull a little, then we pull a lot, we pull until our bodies fall apart. I think then we can get a shift in the hundreds place, and bring a little bit of what we made here back home. That's a very generous kindness, and also an extremely petty act of revenge. Yes, I want to pay the price, and they should pay it too. The worst thing I can imagine is to live and die without being born, a future that is won against the unrestrained weight of the world. But don't worry, I'm not planning to do this just to lose. I'm stacking the deck, coming back to Earth just like you wanted. I'm bringing everything back with me. I have modest ambitions. I choose the future I'm most frightened by, the one that crushes me under the pull of Earth's gravity. I don't want to wonder if I got away with it. I want to know what I could survive. What? That I could survive even this. That doesn't make a very good argument, does it? But you know, Earth is sweet even for someone like me who's better at playing pretend than the real thing. No planet has a moon like this. No planets have sunset and life like this. The romance and beauty is down there too. The romance and beauty is human all along. If we found something new in space, it was something that we achieved. Not these endlessly dead rocks separated by unfathomable distances. You can't just find it somewhere, you have to do the work. Yet I want a reminder, a memento, and I want Earth to remember. It's not an omnipotent tyrant king. Many and one. Earth has a sister and that sister is you.
You want a Pikachu? Okay. Hold up. Oh, okay, no. Pikachu. Pika, Pika. Pikachu.
Oh yeah, what's wrong with my throat today?
Pika, Pika. Pikachu.
Yeah, sorry, my throat does not want to do it the way I want to today. Lunaterra doesn't hear the alarm. Her body knows exactly when it's supposed to wake up, and she does. She doesn't have to wake up this early anymore, but her body has a hard time letting her go back to sleep. She wakes up, tries to focus her eyes. Her head hurts just a little, so she thinks she'll go ahead and make coffee. Except Saturn's arm is tugging at her shirt, and Pluto's legs are tangled up in hers. So maybe she can't make coffee just yet. She warms out of the comfort as much as she can. The apartment's summer air conditioning keeps things nice and cool, but the summers here are hot and so are the girls. Maybe she tries really hard she can go back to sleep. But it's hard. It's always hard with the sun still there, but especially with just the hum of the AC and everyone's slow breathing and the light shiver of sweat. Hey dude, wake up! Hey, don't pull me back into bed. Pluto, stop her! But I want to see who wins. You're the one who wants to make breakfast. You made me wake her up. Don't act like it's not your problem. None of you were up when I was up, so it's time to sleep forever. That's what I said. Also, you're clearly awake, so let's go. No, Pluto. I'm making breakfast though. I already turned on the stove. It's fine. I'll just burn the house down. Help me stop Saturn. Okay. You traitor! You betray yourself! That's enough out of you. Come get some coffee, Luna tea, before you get a headache over it. You're really such a fake. For serious. You too? You switch sides really easy. Like, so do you. Up again! Alright, you're helping me make breakfast. What? How come she gets to sleep when? She be right behind us. She was. Lunatera shivered for a second bare under the AC, and then she got up. She turned the light cancelling off on the windows, and the day, which will last for the rest of the month, poured in, which she can feel a minute of, before she wants to go get breakfast too. On the near side of the moon, the earth will always be visible. Without the hands of her old body, she won't ever be able to fly or feel the view as anything but a picture ever again. Even the memories are fading. But the moon is closer, so close that there's almost no difference between it and the earth. It's another country, a strange country, and the earth is too. So did they do it? Ooh, that's a bunch of achievements. Did they do it? They pulled the moon closer to the earth? And now they live on earth? Or on the moon? I don't really follow. Interesting. I'm just a little sad that there's no CG collection or anything anywhere. Like, we have played through all 3 endings now. The only thing that there still is, there's an achievement if you choose an option on Lunatera where you betray. There's an achievement that's literally called "I've never betrayed anyone in my entire life." And there's an Easter egg apparently. But I don't know how to get it. I'm a little confused, not gonna lie. Hold up. Because like everything that's online is just where to start, but no actual guides for it. So I don't know. I'm just gonna do a funny and switch over to this screen for a minute. But yeah, that is it. We finished Heaven Will Be Mine. Just gonna give us a song while I talk. I am still massively confused by this game. Like, okay, it was in outer space. It explored lots of themes like, ooh, transcending humanity, lots of gay. I don't know. I'm just confused. I think it was almost the same with the other game, with We Know the Devil, but it's been years since I played We Know the Devil, so I can't really connect them. Space confusion, the game, yeah, a little, right? Like, I'm not the only one who's confused. Please tell me you guys are confused as well. But it was a good experience. Like, it's not confusion in a bad way. It's just if I were to tell someone, hey, please read this game, and they'd go, what is this about? I wouldn't know what to say. It's in space. It's about transcending humanity, and also it's gay. Very liberally gay. Like, you know, definitely going off. Definitely going off. But it's nice. It's nice. I liked it. Also, it took us a little longer for this. Hello, I'm confusion. Nice. At least we're all confused. I'm happy about that. Great. Great, that means I need to find a new game to play for Sunday though. Haha, fun. Yeah. Yeah, I need to find a new game for Sunday, and I don't know what game yet. Any ideas already? Well, thing is, hold up, let me get my funny list. Thing is, I have a list of rather short games I own. That I chose for the simple fact that, as I've been saying, I want to not really get started or like be in the middle of any projects before we do the big horror stream, which will be next weekend. So I'd have to find something that I can finish in like 2 streams. I mean, I can cross Heaven Will Be Mine off the list. I guess we have finished that now. Why is that? What? Hello? Why are you not? Oh, because I chose the wrong option. That's why it's not repeating. There we go. Yeah. I need to find something that I can finish in like 5 hours, 6 hours maybe. Oh well, we'll find something. I'll find something until Sunday. It's fine. It's not like I don't have enough games. Also, we could just be playing some funky games that are never ending. We could be playing Animal Crossing for all that I care. Then you could all see how unfinished my island is. I'll find something until Sunday. For now, I'm pretty happy that we finished yet another game on stream, actually. Even if it's just a short game and it was more confusing than anything else we've played so far. It was nice. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I was thinking if I should do something else afterwards, but I think we're actually pretty good with 2.5 hours. Now we can all get some nice sleep. Well, if it's already sleep time where you live. Obviously, I'm gonna get some nice sleep. Tomorrow is a day off, actually. What's it called? A bank holiday? Or something? If the entire country has a holiday. I think it's called a bank holiday or something in English. So I'm gonna get big sleep tonight and sleep in tomorrow because I haven't really slept well in a long time. Congrats on a big sleep. Yes! Yes. Who am I going to send you all to, though? Who's playing some fun stuff? It's not actually holiday where I'm, I think. Oh? It's not? I thought this was not worldwide. I thought this was Germany-wide, though. Hold up. Is it not? Because it's Catholic. Because it's a Catholic thing. It's not everywhere, actually. It's not everywhere in Germany. That's interesting. That's why. Oh, damn. Yeah, church funny. Well, it's a day off for me, so I'm gonna make the most of it. I had planned on reading some stuff I've been trying to catch up on in a while. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just sleep. Who knows? We will see.
Who do I send you guys to now? Stardew Valley.
Ooh, Lottie's playing Steam Prison. That's an Otome game. Are you guys interested in seeing an Otome game? My dad still has a free day because we're at the well, he should make the most of it then. He should make the most of it then. There's only like 2 free days this year. One of them has already been. The other one is tomorrow because everything else falls on a weekend this year anyway. Like I think even Christmas is on a Saturday or something. So it's like, obviously Christmas is not worthless, but like it's worthless as a free day because it's on Saturday. Unless you work in retail or whatever. But on the other hand, no, never mind. If you work in retail, Christmas is horrible either way because then you have to work. Because people for some reason think, oh yes, I'm gonna go fucking shopping on the 24th. I know Christmas technically is on the 25th everywhere else. And it's Christmas Eve. But in Germany you what's the word? Party, not party. Celebrate. You celebrate Christmas on the 24th. At least we do. I think most Germans do. You are up for an Otome game. It's an Otome game I actually have not read myself yet. Germany weird. Well, I mean, I like it better. It's like on the 24th I can do stuff with my family, and then on the 25th I can do stuff with more extended family, which is further away. And then on the 26th it's also once again extended family. We will see what it's like this year, because last year obviously was none of that. Everyone was stuck at home because of Roni. So let's see what this year is about. Seeing family and stuff.
Alrighty. I'm gonna give you all the good old rate message.
Why did I say le? Je ne parle pas français. Je ne parle pas français. I can't even say français, right? I do a weird r sound. Je ne parle pas français. Same though. My extended family is also not very big. It's just it depends on who wants to meet up where and who can make it. That's why it's so. One day it's here, one day it's somewhere else. It depends on who wants to cook and what year. Because one year we cook, then one week someone else cooks. You have a huge extended family. You don't know who most of them are? Whoa! Yeah, no, I have a very small extended family. I have to pretend to know, so oh. Well, you can't know everyone. The bigger the family is, though, the worse it is. Like, I was at a wedding. Wait, of a cousin. At the wedding of a cousin, and it's like I barely know that cousin. Simply because they're way older than me, for one. But I was at the wedding, obviously, because for one, we are close enough, so I would be invited to the wedding. But like I barely knew people on his side, because it's a very rural town. It's not even a town, I guess. It's like even smaller than a town or village. So everyone knows each other and stuff, but I obviously don't know them. And then the part of the bride, I would know even less. And there were lots of people, and while I was just standing there like, yeah, you're all older than me. Because either people were like upwards 30. The only ones that were younger than me were like literal children of the people over 30 that had their children with them. So it's like, yes, do I want to hang out with people who could be my parents or with their children? Hi, Basil, how are you? Family is one of those times that don't you recognize your second uncle you preview and you were like, oh no, oh, that's horrible. New at the little kids table. Yeah. It was funny. It was funny because like most of them had to leave then. Because the little children wouldn't want to like hang out. Or like shouldn't be staying up as long, especially because at some point at that wedding, the later it gets, the more alcohol flows and stuff. You know how it is. So some would, but everyone obviously in that kind of village community, everyone lives kind of close by. So a few parents would just take all the children and bring them home and tuck them in, and then they would show up again and go like, oh yeah, children asleep, party time. I have been at 2 weddings in my entire life, so I don't have a lot of experience to connect it to. Hang out with the kids, relate to them with Among Us memes. No, I think they're actually too young. For one, this wedding was 2 or 3 years ago. That was before Among Us came out. So, but like the children, they were like too young. Like even if most children these days get raised with the tablet and YouTube and whatever, I think they're still too young to like 4 to 5 year olds. I don't think those would already be playing something like Among Us, no? I hope. Roblox memes. Oh no, I don't actually know Roblox. I only know the sound. I don't know anything about Roblox. The young kids in my family and all that. Yeah, true though. It's just in my close family, I am the youngest, so there were never any more young kids I could hang out with. It was always just at parties from work. Or stuff. When I was also invited to go along with my parents, there were other parents there who also had children. Those were younger, but in my immediate family I'm always the youngest, and I will be for a very long time. No, never mind. The same cousin I was talking about now has a child, but he's like not even a year old yet, so that's also too big a disconnect now. What do you mean? I recently heard from someone that their son off his smartphone when he was 2. Ooh. Well, maybe the password was too easy then, if the 2-year-old couldn't unlock your smartphone. Oh god. I mean, nothing against raising your children with technology. Oh my god. It's just, times are changing. But you need to be careful with what you're teaching them and what you're letting them see on the internet. Because the internet is a vast place, and I feel like the reason why so many people talk badly about young kids being on the internet is just that the parents have no clue about the dangers, and then the clueless parents blame the internet, even though it's their job to make sure their kids don't go places they shouldn't. And like, it's not enough to just tell the kids, oh, don't go there, that's not good for you. You have to really make them aware of the dangers, and you'd have to block specific sites so that stuff doesn't happen. Like, fucking, I don't want kids to get traumatized because parents are not as aware of how much danger being online can hold, can include. I don't know, I'm missing a words to make this sound better, but I hope it's understandable what I'm trying to say. Make them watch videos, yes! Make your 2-year-old subscribe to Nui channel on Twitch for very kid-friendly content. Kid-friendly content like Nia, where we end the entirety of humanity and people run around in their underwear and there's a bunch of blood. It's like kids emptying their parents' credit card for microtransactions. Why do you let me? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like, as a child, you always think. I guess maybe that was just me. As a child, I always thought, I don't know, my mom would have infinite money. Like, we're not rich. I knew we were not rich. But I never really comprehended the amount of money things would cost. It's like, when you saw a toy as a child, you obviously saw a price tag, but it never really translated into my brain how much money that would be, or how much money you have to spend on like groceries, on food and gas and everything else you need in your home and stuff. Obviously, as a child, you don't think about that. You shouldn't have to think about that, I guess. I worry I sound really privileged when I talk about it like this. It's just, as a child, you should be able to live your childhood and not have to worry about money. Obviously, that's not the truth for everyone, sadly. But I wish children to enjoy their childhood without all the bad stuff that happens early on enough in your life, where you have to grow up. Whether you're ready for it or not, you have to grow up, and that's not nice. It's just not nice. I hated my childhood. I'm sorry if I'm bringing up horrible memories or something, by the way. That wasn't really the point I was trying to make. What was our original point, actually? Kids and technology. Small kids on tablets and stuff. But yeah, I don't think it's inherently bad. With the internet, there's a lot of good things you can do. But there's also lots of dangers. And I feel like you have to teach parents about the internet as well. Especially parents who did not grow up with the internet. But also the now young adults that are getting children. Sprouting children? Birthing children? No, all of that sounds horrible. Well, young parents right now that already grew up with the internet being a part of their life. They should know better. Make sure that their kids know about the dangers. Chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets. Sprouting children sounds like you're raising them like plants. You have to water them every day. And make sure they get enough food and sun. Right? Unless I have a sun allergy, then maybe not. Or water allergy, then maybe also not. It's horrible. I know too. Don't forget to water them. Yeah. Thank you for the hydrate time. I know one person with a sun allergy and one person with a water allergy, and the water allergy is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, generally, you want, like, showering with a water allergy. Yes, this life-giving fluid is going to make my body scream. Exactly! Exactly! Yeah, it's not nice. You have problems with water, oh. That's not good. Well, and being able to drink it, water's the only thing I don't have problems with. Funnily enough. Sit them in front of the door, shower them with water, and enjoy your free time. Well, children can be fun. They can be very cute. They can also be brats. But my god, they're children, obviously. I can't bathe and can't shower off now. I get skin rashes. Ah, yeah, that's what my friend with the water allergy also has. It's like too much exposure to water for too long is a horrible experience, but obviously you have to kind of clean yourself somehow. Kind of regularly, maybe. It doesn't sound nice. Nah. It's just, I don't have any allergies as far as I'm aware of. But who knows? It's like one of those things. Oh, I don't have any allergies. Yeah, did you ever check with the doctor? No. You survive 32. You survive more. Oh, good. You cannot see it, but imagine me pumping my fists for you. Yeah. You're strong, and you will continue to do that. I'm proud of you. With me, it's like I can drink water. I cannot drink anything else. But well, I do sometimes. I do sometimes get myself some milk for stuff. Or Coke or whatever, but it's not good for me. Maybe this was, yeah, me strong, me smart, yes. Maybe I should draw a newer strong emote. Maybe that would be a good idea. I recently tried reading into that BTTV thingy. So if I can get around to designing more, maybe I could also put the emotes there that I don't have spaces for with the regular Twitch slots, so I can put some emotes on the BTTV thingy. Also some more meme things like Noah with a gun, as soon as I can find a way to make it look good, because obviously it's rather small, an emote. But no with a gun, wouldn't that be fun? That rhymes! Oh yeah! Oh my god. Oh, what? I'm not sure. I just saw this on my recommended channels. Do any of you guys know the 8-bit drummer? Rhyme gun with fun, yes! I'm rhyming gun with fun. What? The 8-bit drummer now also plays games on stream. Oh, fun! I also only know him. I also only know him from Heike's drum covers. Like he streams, and you can submit a song, and he covers it live on drums. Most of the time, also without actually knowing the song, or it can be a cursed version, stuff like that. He's really good. I love watching the compilations of like what he covered. But Twitch just recommended me because he's live right now, and he's apparently also now not playing normal games and not only drumming. That's nice. Good for him. Wow. Cool. Here's some fun with song memes and normal songs. Yeah, yeah. Like, he has drovered... drovered? Woo! Had to... Oh, got really small there. He has covered some meme versions of songs. It's like some very cursed versions of Megalovania. Several of them, in fact. I think he's also done Crab Rave. Everything. Also, we in America? No, we're not in America. Well, I'm not. I don't know where you are, but I'm not in America. Not to speak badly about the Americans, but I am not very interested in going to the US of A. The same country as you. Ah! So Guardian is the only one left out again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That sounds like I'm making fun of you. I don't mean to make fun of you. It's just funny. Despite this being an English stream, for some reason I always get the Germans. Also, thank you for the posture check. Yeah! I can't believe I'm being bullied like this. No! No, I'm so sorry. Listen, I'm very glad you guys are here for me all the time. I hope I say it enough, and if I don't, I'll say it again. I'm very happy for everyone who's here and who enjoys hanging out with me. Especially because I play pretty obscure games, I guess. Like, okay, Nier was not an obscure game, but something like Heaven Will Be Mine, that's obscure. That's definitely obscure. Like, and then some visual novels, also obscure. Visual novels as a whole are getting more mainstream. But still, even then, I feel like whenever I tell people, oh, I recently played this game, they're like, what? What is that? I don't know that. Did I miss the game? I just woke up. Yeah. Yeah. We finished the game. Wait, actually, hold up. Let me change the category to just chatting. Otherwise, maybe someone will come in here for this and then go like, wait, you're not even playing Heaven Will Be Mine. What the fuck? You're confused most of the time. Probably won't be able to make a style stream rescue get it. Is a good sign. Ah, okay. Well, if you are not too tired to join the stream sometime after with your new schedules, definitely on the weekends. On the long weekends, you'll definitely be able to join the streams, I think. And even if you can't make it, make sure you rest up well. I know how hard it is to work. So don't feel bad if you ever cannot catch my stream. Make sure you rest yourself first. And if you can make it here, I'll be very happy. If you can't, then I'll be happy that you're resting and taking time for yourself. You were looking for a right target and then we drifted off. Yeah. Yeah. It's because I don't know. I like hanging out, but I always feel bad if we just talk and I don't do anything. I don't know. It's just so. I like it when other people do it. I love just hanging out and talking. Wow, Jesus, why am I? It's when I move too far to the right. I like when other people do it, but when I do it, it's just like, oh, is it not too boring just watching me talk? We lost visuals on the target. Base, come in, please, Base. We're having trouble here. We cannot find the target. The anime is talking to me. The anime should work on commission sometime. Yeah, that's what I could do tomorrow. Finally finish commissions I have in queue. Me. But yeah. Well, I managed to make it a 3-hour stream. Somehow. So, I achieved my goal. Hahaha. No. No. Well, to an extent I try to make every stream like kind of about 3 hours now. Oh no, it is 3 hours. Just because it's a nice time frame.
A pet, thank you so much.
Well, next goal is 420, so we have a long way to go.
Regenerally efficient. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just when I choose games, how do you say it? I usually go to how long to beat. Thank you so much for the pets. When I choose games, the way I usually do it is I go on how long to beat and see what other people have written there. It's just the more obscure the game, obviously the less people will have put in their time on how long to beat. So it's a hit or miss for the more obscure games. I've got games on there where it would say like, I don't know, 30 hours, and then I would finish them in like half the time. But then again, I have to like, I guess I kind of try to double the time for stream. Especially if it's a visual novel, because obviously when I read the stuff out loud, it's going to take longer. That's just how it is. Like I think how long to beat time for the House in Fata Morgana is like 28 hours or something. And I read that entire game in 19. Which is not quite half, but still it's quite a few. Yeah, and then also stream has the occasional talk without really playing. Exactly. Obviously, I want to comment on things and want to talk to you guys about stuff that's happening in game, and then sometimes we go off on a tangent for like, God knows where. Which is also good. I mean, that's what the like. If I wanted to simply play through a game, then I could also just not do commentary, right? Then I could just record the stuff and upload it on YouTube without commentary, but that's not the point of all this. The point of all this is for you guys to suffer through me talking shit. When the game talks about food again, yeah! Don't we all love our food games? Don't we all love our food games? Actually, on the matter of the horror stream, I know it's next week, but I'm still not completely decided on what I want to do. So I'm just going to ask you guys, simply because you're here right now, would you prefer it more if I finished like 1 or 2 bigger games? Or if I did lots of small horror games, like if I just scored itch.io for horror games, for indie games and stuff. Like stuff where a gameplay would take, I don't know, half an hour at most. Maybe 2, but that's really stretching it. Or if I just played like something, I don't know, what are good social horror games? Something like Little Nightmares, I guess. Or what other horror games are there that I own? Layers of Fear, stuff like that. If I just did like 1 or 2. Among Us is a horror game. Well, I can't argue with you on that. That's a problem. Among Us with randoms is a horror game. I have never played Among Us with randoms. I have only played Among Us with friends. Where we would use voice and not actually writing out what you were doing. I've also recently played Phasmophobia for the first time, which was fun. I didn't really understand most of it or feel like I did anything good in it, but it was interesting to see and play with friends. No, but yeah, that's the thing I'm still on the fence about. Like, should I play a bunch of short games or should I just like choose 1 or 2 games that I could feasibly manage to finish in a stream? I don't really know. I'm not experienced with horror games. Yeah, me neither. That's the problem. Horror games are not really a thing I usually play. That's why I want to make the 6-month anniversary kind of special, like by choosing to play something I don't usually do. Like, it's just going to be... You guys are getting spoilers. I'm working on the graphic and the announcement for it. I will post that next week then. But that's the one thing I'm still like on the fence about. Should I just, I don't know, play Little Nightmares? Because it's a good game. It's a horror game. It looks like something I could manage as well, even as someone who has no or almost no experience with horror, I guess. Or should I try and find like lots of short free indie games? Oh well, can be paid as well. That's not really... It's like, you know, Eep, for example, the RPG Maker game Eep is one of my favorite games ever. But I know I would never be able to play it myself because it has so many sequences of where you have to run from things or you die. I realize that Little Nightmares has that as well from everything I've seen, but I don't know. It looks the saves for Little Nightmares were a little kinder to where you could restart if you actually did die, whereas Eve is, or all the RPG Maker games obviously don't have autosaves. You have to save somewhere yourself, and that would just end with me walking like 2 steps and then running back to the save. Maybe I'll put a poll on Twitter. Like, hey, you guys, next week, 6-month anniversary, would you rather see me play big game or small game? But if you... I am very indecisive, I'm sorry. I just want to make it fun. I just want to make it fun because I found out today that I probably won't be able to stream on the Friday before that either. That's my mom's birthday. So I want to make the 6-month anniversary something big at least. But we'll see. I'll find something and then I'll show you guys a really cool graphic. Also, is Twitch dying? No, it's still working, I think. It looks really laggy for some reason. Well, for now, wait to this Wednesday. For some reason I keep thinking it's Friday, but it's not Friday, it's Wednesday. So, I have now successfully talked your ears off collectively. But thank you so much for the follow. Hi, welcome to the stream. Hope you're good. It's a day in the week, exactly. It's so weird. It's just because I keep thinking, oh, I don't have to get up tomorrow. I keep thinking it's Friday, but it's not.
But yeah.
I have successfully talked you guys ear off. So I shall now be sending you, finally be sending you over to someone else. I'm still gonna stay with the same raid target, I think. Lottie is playing Steam Prison. Steam Prison is an Otome game I have not yet had the pleasure of playing myself. I know it exists though. I own the game, but I haven't played it yet. We have raided Lottie once before, I think when she was playing Token Rambo. No, when she was playing the thingy with the demon guys. That I always forget what it's called. But yeah, Lottie is a really, really nice streamer. I love her very much. She currently is saving up money for rigging her new model, and her new model looks absolutely gorgeous. It's a magical girl design, even more so than her first design was. So I'm really hoping to see that in action soon. But yeah. Your talk was easy to understand and heaven will be mine. well, I'm glad. I also don't hope my talk is ever too confusing. I know I say lots of words without meaning a lot of things, simply because I lose any and all ability to form coherent sentences whenever I try to actually talk for some reason. It's like when I write, stuff makes sense, and then I try to talk the exact same stuff and it just sounds like a gobbled mess. And it's like, do you really speak English? And sometimes I doubt this. Sometimes I really doubt I speak English. It's like, good thing no one else has to listen to me talk. Haha, you say, but you stream 4 times on Twitch a week, so lots of people have to listen to my bullshit. Nah, it's okay. This is all fun and jokes, guys. Okay, before I go off on tangent again, here's the raid message. Same as always. And we're going to raid
Lottie. There we go. Then I will wish you all of you a very good night. Sleep tight. If it's not yet sleep time where you are, then don't sleep tight. Sleep tight maybe sometime else. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. I don't know why my eyes keep closing the entire time. Thank you so much for coming to my stream. I'll see you all on Friday for Audience Sphere finally. Then good night. Let me switch the screen. Wow. And bye bye.